Cheers.
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 Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of the Cheers Comics podcast, where two of your friends, sometimes three, are going to kick back a cold one and talk about their favorite comics of the week, including characters, creators, news, and anything else underneath our illustrated sun. If you like that, then join me, one of your hosts, Justin Jones, and the fifth most popular fuchsia-colored Power Ranger himself, Brian Wayne.
Yo.
And returning guest, the guy on the couch, Mason.
Hold on. What's the fifth most popular shade of fuchsia?
You are the fifth most popular fuchsia-colored Power Ranger.
So is that like more of a cooler fuchsia, or of like a more of a neon fuchsia? Which level does it go?
It's the coolest fuchsia.
The coolest fuchsia.
You are the coolest fuchsia.
Neon.
So, I'm picturing it now.
Yeah, you got it?
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
What's my fucking my dragon coin? I don't. Oh my god, I don't know the fucking thing that they do. What do I morph into? What's my morphin dinosaur?
You have a pen as a weapon, and it is mightier than the sword for sure.
Yeah, no. What's his Zord?
Yeah, what's my Zord? Thank you. What's my Zord?
Your Zord is just a fuchsia colored lion, but
it's a lion.
But you become the cod piece of the big mech.
Oh shit! So like the pilot's cockpit is the cockpit.
Yeah. That's it.
It's the most important part of the
exactly.
And actually, no. When you think about that logically, it almost seems like a pretty damn good view. Like the only thing is you don't have the up view above you, but you've got.
No one
that
wants
view
to see
everything.
Jason's ass.
No. When you're solo Zording it, because I mean, let's face it, you're gonna solo Zord it quite a bit.
That's true. Yeah, we're not always Megazorded.
No, so like you're gonna solo Zord it quite a bit.
But I prefer to be the crotch as much as possible.
Well, are you talking about the crotch of the Megazord or the crotch of your actual lion?
Hey! I mean, to be fair.
Lion.
Oh, I can be. To be fair, the crotch.
Your lion or loin. Yeah, like that. You like that?
I see what you did there. All right, moving along. Not moving along. I'm honored to be the fifth most popular.
As you should be.
Colored. Alright. Fucking A, man.
Got any news for us this week?
A little bit. A few delays. Batman Damn #3 is now pushed to May.
Okay.
Because DC is afraid of Black Label now, apparently. Like, they came out balls deep, no pun intended, and then just everyone... I don't know. They're afraid of whatever. Like in issue 2, they clearly went through and did reworks on the art because I guarantee that issue or that panel of Harley Quinn, she was bare chested. I promise you.
Good chance.
And I'm guessing that there's something similar that happened there, but it's only a 3-part series, so regardless, I'm gonna get the fucking conclusion, and I'm happy.
Cool.
No matter how long it takes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Another book that's taking forever is Doomsday Clock. It's pushed back again. I think just another month. But at this point, it's like... It was supposed to be monthly, and then they announced bi-monthly. And it's almost tri-monthly now. I haven't even started reading it, just because I can't go 2 or 3 months. A lot of times I have a hard time between books that are monthly. Just trying to remember. Thankfully, Marvel gives us really good recaps and everything.
True.
But DC doesn't.
Yeah.
And yeah. But yeah, so just some pushbacks. Whatever. They're gonna come eventually.
Okay.
So just be patient. Speaking of coming, Second Coming, the book that DC was supposed to put out. You thought I was going to go somewhere different, huh? You thought. Oh, man, I'm good. So Second Coming was a book that a lot of people were really excited about because it was pretty edgy. It was a book about pretty much Jesus that DC was going to put out. And let me pull up my information here about the creator. Mark Russell. He announced that it's not going to be launched via DC. And he came out to say that this is actually a really good thing because now it's going to come out completely creator owned and there's no changes going to be made. So, and DC, all he did was go to DC and say, "Can I have my property back?" And he said, DC happily said, here's your property back. So he didn't get Alan Moore, speaking of Doomsday Clock and that whole thing. So we are going to get this book. We don't know when. I'm excited about it because it is supposed to be pretty edgy. But apparently, since the Batman damn Black Label thing didn't really go... this is my speculation at this point. Didn't go as well as DC hoped. I think them putting out a book at this magnitude, just they might have been like... They suggested too many changes, I think. And I think that Mr. Russell was just like, I'd rather it not be told this way. And I think DC was cool. Obviously, I mean, these are the words out of Russell's mouth. Obviously not verbatim, but he said, yeah, they just graciously gave it back. And so we are going to get this story that I'm very intrigued about.
Cool.
Just don't know when.
Yeah.
So apparently this is the week of pushbacks. More news. Tom Taylor has been hashtag deceased, which don't know anything about. But he finally teased some covers today as of Monday the 18th. And it's looking like it's going to be pretty gory. As a matter of fact, he even wouldn't post one of the covers on Twitter. He said this is more of a go to my Facebook page for this. It might be too much. So he had to redirect you, and it was, I mean, honestly, it really reminded me of the Francesco Mattina variant of Dark Knight's Metal 2 and 3, which are actually my favorite comic book covers of all time. It showed a Batman almost zombified looking. So I don't know if we're getting a DC Zombies version, but Taylor's pretty much just come out and say any questions he asks is, someone might ask on Twitter, is so-and-so gonna die? And he'll, yeah, probably. Or how many of so-and-sos are going to die? And he would respond with, how many are there? So, I don't know. He's responsible for writing the most well-reviewed comic of last year, being Injustice.
Mm-hmm.
Or not of last year, previous, and I'm super fucking excited. I'm not gonna lie. I am super fucking excited for whatever this DC thing is.
Yeah.
Another one, he said, everyone's familiar with Tom King's Dark Side Is thing that's going, well, now it's Dark Side Was is kind of a thing, so he's gonna kill off fucking Darkseid, he's killing off everybody. He's gonna kill off Superman, kill off Batman. I like the idea of Tom Taylor writing all these fucking incredible DC stories that aren't continuitous. I said that word wrong. Canon? There we go. I just Porky Pigged the shit out of that. Fucking, but they're still amazing and still, highly reviewed, like Injustice. I played the games. I loved the story. He told the comic book very well. I read the first volume. I still gotta read Injustice 2. Because I didn't think it was gonna go on as long as it did.
Sure.
It did. But dude's got chops. I mean, he's responsible for creating my favorite new character of this millennium, being Honey Badger. So, obviously. But yeah, no. There I go talking about her again, man. Every time Tom
always find a way.
Every time Tom Taylor comes up. But the other piece of news is something that I know you're stoked about, and
what's that?
Mr. Layton himself.
Oh yeah, John Layton.
John Layton, yes. Put out a Twitter that just said more chew.
Fuck
and,
yeah.
That was the book that got me hooked on Gilroy. I've read the first 2 volumes. Now I know I need to binge the rest. Because more chew's coming.
Yeah, so we got some catching up to do.
That was a fun fucking story. Gilroy's art on fucking point, so.
Heck yeah. I'm excited. I mean, I love Outer Darkness right now. Different artist, but, same writer, so.
Yeah, and we get to talk about Outer Darkness tonight.
We do?
Today. Yes. Cool. Well, that's all I got for news. Anything that you skimmed across?
No, sir.
Want to mention? No?
No, I pretty much send you everything I find.
In the world
Alita came out last week.
We'll save that for the end.
All right.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of excited to see that, being kind of a fan of the original manga.
I really like that it's actually getting reviewed too. But we'll talk about that at the end. Yeah. Fucking A. Well, let's jump into what we did read.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's start out with Murder Falcon.
Murder Falcon!
Number 5. Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer are creating gold. Fucking love this book so goddamn much. So it starts out with a Norwegian black metal band battling Magnum Chaos. And this is so fucking cool.
Fuck yes.
It's so fucking metal.
Giant fucking tree creature.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It makes
just a horde of fucking antelope.
And, you know, I think, oh, another giant fucking tree creature. I haven't seen that before. This, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say it, and This tree creature makes Groot look like a bitch.
Oh, for sure.
This thing is fucking awesome. Like, look at that tree creature. Mace. That shit's dope. So, yeah. But
that's pretty cool.
It looks like this band gets defeated, though. And, yeah, that's what it's seeming like in the beginning. And then it jumps to Jake confronting his ex. Because it revealed in the last issue that Jake was the one that actually...
That's pretty cool.
Had the cancer and all of that.
Right.
And then that's kind of where it left off with him. Yeah. So now we're getting that whole, like, coming together. Should we be friends? How could we progress?
It's gonna take time for this to go back. Yeah.
Right. And it's there's this book, for as crazy and as goofy as it all sounds.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to throw in this emotion. This whole like cancer thing.
It definitely has some serious tones, you know, of romance and of pain and of friendship.
You could almost say that this is a heavy metal book. Anyways. So meanwhile, the rest of the band, they have this device called their shred detector, and they're out in this creepy graveyard looking for whatever the shred detector finds. They don't even know. They're just like, when the thing goes off, that's when we found
it's
it.
just beeping.
Yep. And they find it.
Yeah, they get this really cool like crypt.
Dude, this
really creepy. I don't remember this being here.
Oh, it's so fucking cool, man. I love this art.
Well, what do they find in the crypt, Brian?
What do they find?
They find a black metal VHS tape.
That's right. They find a fucking VHS tape. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get to that.
And all these like fucking dragon creatures that surround the crypt afterwards.
Yeah, and they're like, oh shit, we gotta go.
That's they look so cool.
This is great storytelling, man, because it's
fun.
so simplistic. Like, I'm looking at this 2-page spread here, and there's so much happening, and I can count the total amount of words on my fingers and toes. Like that, and I'm not exaggerating. There might be like 18 words total, and it's so fucking cool. Anyways, so yeah, these guys, they come across their thing, and then after Jake and Ann's little whatever, Ann goes out to hang out with old Murph, or Murder Falcon, on the porch swing, and they're getting acquainted, and then we find a cool ability that Murph has, and he takes off his fucking bandana and puts it on her, and he like takes her into his world.
Right.
And they
into
develop
the heavy.
Like, oh my god, they just... If there was ever a book made just for Brian Wayne, man, this is so fucking
I knew as soon as I read this, I'm like, Brian would love this.
And you still need to bring me your issue number 1, too. I need that shit.
You got it.
I need it so hard. But yeah, so this whole, like, concept is... For as little as we see here, it develops a cool bond between Murph and Ann, which were strangers up until this point. And you see a new ability that Murph has.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jake comes outside. He gets the call from his friends. They're like, "Fucking goddamn! Assemble!"
Something happened to Jimmy.
Yep. Yeah. So they get in the old bandmobile, is what I'm gonna call it for now. And then we get my panel of the week. Yeah, it came in the first book. That would be that one there, where they're just like, destroying shit. These guys have what, like, when they play, it's almost like summoning Zords, if you will, to bring that up again. Only they're not like mega or robotic or anything. They all just have like these creatures that come out and fight for them.
Okay, so it's much like I guess you're not familiar. I've talked to you about JoJo before, but as you get into JoJo, you have what's known as the stands. And the stands are literally just manifestations of the inner spirit that they can control.
Okay.
So when they play, when they play their instruments, they're basically able to summon manifestations of their spirit, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and just
kind
like
of,
at the beginning,
but
like
these
the,
are like
the giant tree monster with the black metal dude. Like
they're guardians from the heavy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So, like, do they have like guardians that are assigned to them, or
yeah, pretty much.
Just whatever is tied to the instrument.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, so could they get a new instrument and then have a new guardian?
I don't know. It's a new fucking book. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we haven't gotten there yet, but
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
it comes out to
at this point we're
the
not
instrument has to choose the person too.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be some of your audience that's going to cringe at my JoJo reference.
Whatever,
Yeah.
dude. Let them cringe, man. Let them cringe. I don't give a shit. Fucking this fucking book. So yeah, they go and they find they get to Jimmy.
Right.
And he's got like this thing growing out of his head that. And this is another beautiful thing. Don't know what the fuck this thing is, but you automatically know that it's tied to
That's
Magnum
not good.
Chaos.
Yeah, and that ain't good.
You automatically know it's tied to Magnum Chaos just because of. It's just Spicer's so fucking brilliant, dude. He's such a good artist. Like you would, if you were flipping through this at first glance without dissecting anything, you might think. And I hate to say, like, oh, it looks like some sketch work or whatever, but it's so fucking brilliantly done. Like, it's so meticulous. It's just got a cool It's a metal fucking style. Like, you wouldn't want...
I love this art.
I would hate to see,
goes
like,
with the story perfectly.
I would hate to see, like, a clean Pepe Larraz type of art on here. Like, this needs to be...
Yeah, it's not that
grungy.
story.
No,
Right, exactly.
Yep. Exactly.
It fits the tone perfectly.
Yeah. So while these guys take Jimmy to the hospital, they pop in that videotape.
Yep.
And what's on this fucking videotape?
This cloaked figure telling him, like, if this reaches you, I will give you the secrets to destroy chaos. And, it gives him a song they need to learn.
It's a tablature.
Yep.
And...
So Jake plays it, and apparently it sounds really sick, even though he's just kind of plucking with it out of an amp. And, suddenly he has this map in his head, and he knows the coordinates.
Yep. And then,
he can briefly glimpse into the future.
And at the same time, Murph's robotic arm turns into a key, too. What this key goes to, they'll fucking know. But it turns his arm into a key.
Yep.
So... and then after all of that, if that wasn't enough, you get a giant fucking goddamn fist that comes through the wall. And it's fucking the giant tree monster, and Helmdar of Whisperwood they reveal as the name of the
he
band.
wants to join their band.
Yep, and he wants to join the band.
Yep.
This is so
he
fucking
apparently
cool.
made it out alive.
I saw you cringe for a second. What about when I said Whisperwood? Is there something I don't know about that?
Huh? No.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know if you cringed or got excited. I just like saw out of the corner of my eye your face moved.
I don't know what I did.
Oh, and then you see that. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah,
Tell me that's not fucking hard. Oh my god.
That's a great panel.
Dude, this is still my favorite fucking indie book. Like, there's no debate. Like, there's some amazing shit out here, but this one is for me.
It looks like it has a lot of soul.
That is a Brian Wayne fucking book.
It gets better because Daniel Warren Johnson went on the Twitters and he reposted that tablature and he was like, I want to see what you guys fucking sound like. So the first one to come up with it, Ryan Stegman, the artist for Venom, came up with an acoustic version.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it was fucking cool. Like,
you will have to show me that.
I tweeted this, but I immediately thought, like, this is the meaning of life. The meaning of life was Daniel Warren Spicer to write Murder Falcon with a tablature embedded into this story for Ryan Stegman to dust out his grandpa's guitar, literally. And I responded when they posted that, I was like, oh, acoustic, that's grandpa's guitar. Because fucking,
yeah.
I love me some Death Clock. But, oh, Toki. But yeah, no, fucking... this is why the universe was created. For me. Like, that's my universe right now. Fucking, so we can get another big bang right now. Dude, this podcast can end right fucking now. Explosions. And I go out with a fucking smile on my face because I gotta read Murder Falcon #5. Like,
that's some high praise, my friend.
Dude. Okay, let's move on. I'm gonna come. Fucking Spawn kills everything too. Did you read this one?
I did not.
It's goofy, man.
Are we still revolving around Baby Spawn here?
It is, and these guys, they go out and they're killing everything. So
Spawn kills everybody too, but issue 3, right?
Literally everyone. Like, look at that list there of all the, like, you got everything from like She-Ra to Rick from Rick and Morty to like
Tigra,
my bad. Whatever.
Oh, you got Link, yeah.
Link got them all, and he's going through, and they're like. Baby
Lion-O.
Spawn thinks that he's doing it himself.
Snake.
But it's
you got
the baby
Snake there.
Yeah.
Trunks.
Oh yeah.
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I would really like to know who those two
Judge
hidden
Dredd.
characters are. Yeah, Judge Dredd and RoboCop are in there, I believe.
Yeah, the two behind him with the green hair and
Yeah.
like the Monty hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to know. It's just, this is a total, like, guilty pleasure story. Like, even the writing is pretty fucking, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Frankenstein.
it's hand-fisted, but in the best way, because it suits this art style. It suits
It's supposed
the
to be.
story. It's a very self-aware, making fun. Now, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's making fun of, but parodying Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, obviously.
Right.
There's just nobody off limits.
It just seems like a nod and a love letter to comics in general.
It really is. It totally is. And, you know, like I said, Baby Spawn is under the impression that he's actually doing all this, but it's the baby shit spawns they're like putting sleeping pills or whatever. So
Right.
they're going out. And
Not
doing
to eat junk food. Well, fast food isn't junk food. Yeah.
Well, through all of this, we get a new character, and it's one of the coolest mashups ever. It's the Violator and Thanos. It's Clownos.
Oh,
He
God.
got word of all of these like kills that Spawn got, and he visits Spawn in the sleep, and then the baby Spawns go to attack him, and in all comic book glory, wearing his gauntlet. It just so happens that Spawn had all of the gems just sitting on his whatever, so he goes to put on the gauntlet, and fucking next issue we gotta figure out what happens. But
Okay.
this is, like I said,
Right
it's,
on.
I mean, even the fucking cover, it's a nod to and
Yep.
and the Infinity Wars. It's great. And they also came out with another assisted blank that my boy Levi is working on now as we speak. He also is the one that did the Batman Who Laughs variant I posted on Twitter too. So make sure you check out Levi's fucking blanks that I've been making him do. Moving along?
Yeah.
You got enough Baby Spawn?
I did.
Okay. I don't have any intriguing questions for you this time about Spawn Mason, about like how he was able to like pop through a xenomorph. But yeah. Eventually you're gonna read this story. Like there's only one
I'm
more
sure
issue.
I will.
Yeah, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. Moving along, another one that's probably gonna go pretty quick on account there ain't no words. Hit Girl Hollywood.
What do you got from us from the
Number one?
Millerverse?
This one's actually written by Kevin Smith, so that was
Ooh,
why.
right.
That's why I bought it. I'm not gonna. Shamefully enough, I don't think that I've ever read any of Kevin Smith's comics, so I want to be able to say I read a Kevin Smith comic.
Sure.
Don't know if I could say that still after this, because the name of this book is called Silent Era for a good reason. There's no fucking words. And it's funny because the art in here is done by Pernell Oram and Sunny Go, and it's the same artist that does like the Marvel Kids comics.
Uh-huh.
That's the type of art you're getting in this fucking gore fest here. Like
Cool.
It looks like
I like that contrast between like kitty and friendly and then actually just brutal.
yeah, and it's totally brutal. And what the fuck's going on here? It's a school shooting. Like they're just like boom, here's fucking issue 1, school shooting. Like let's just like get edgy. And
Okay.
they do, and she goes through and she's like fucking decapitating these kids, and she makes her way through, and the last page is her sitting on the Hollywood sign, and we finally get some fucking words, and it's I see dead people. So fucking A.
Okay.
I'm subscribed. I am. I still don't believe that I read a Kevin Smith comic, but I feel like
right. Like
But I don't mean that in a bad, like I don't mean to shit on it in any way. Like I enjoy a silent comic because I had a bunch of books to read and I was like, fuck yeah, a minute and a half read. Love it. It took me longer to take the notes than anything. And like take pictures of the panels and everything
Right.
for the YouTubes and whatnot. So, but I'm not gonna lie, I did when I read that Pernell Oram was doing the art and they described her art style, I was like, I don't know, but look, she did the violence so good. So that what you do is you still credit Kevin Smith. I mean, not fully, but you could still get credit to Kevin Smith for that because even though there's no words, I'm sure most of you know
he
this.
had to write what happened.
Right, you got to write the beats and everything, and for him to describe it as well as he did, obviously, because I know there's no question as to what's going on here. There's no question as to the feeling and emotion, because it's not just a straight hack and slash. There's still some moments where there's questioning going on. Like Hit Girl like finds like a book about herself at one point, and she's like, "What the fuck?" Like it's pretty cool. She like has one of the bookcases laying on the final shooter, and a book falls out, and she sees like a biography about her, and as she's like going through it, she like slashes half of his face off as she's sitting on the bookcase that he's pinned under. So like it's a Kevin Smith gore for sure. Like you could tell it's Kevin Smith still. Is my point. Sorry, I rambled, but
it's all good. That sounds interesting.
I just feel like I shitted on it at first, and it doesn't need to be shat on. It's good.
I gave you your honest opinion.
Yep. This book, yeah, man. I once again, it's just so many fucking questions, but good questions.
Okay,
Outer Darkness number 4, John Layman, Afu Chan, and the cover by Afu Chan is fucking brilliantly. Is that the fish shit? No, never mind. I was thinking of a different cover. I was gonna say, is that the fish shade of Freesia? I forgot it's red.
No, yeah, this is a great one, and again, the cover kind of gives you a good hint at what the story's about. It's kind of a lot of it set into the internal dialogue of Chief Navigator Elox. He's on board the what's the ship called again?
Oh, fuck! I forget what the ship's called.
The Cheiron.
Cheiron.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of it's in his story. He's kind of having this inner dialogue of everybody hates this captain. Everybody hates him, and he kind of describes certain different people. Nobody hates him more than Satalis. Satalis is his first mate, and then there's this guy Shin. No, Shin's not anything to trust. But him, he knows things. Why? Because he was a god. He was a Egyptian-esque alien god who killed his father, took the throne, and they're showing that he was brutal. He demanded they sacrifice crops, sacrifice women, sacrifice virgins, that he would melt the people. He demanded both respect and fear from his subjects. Later on in the story, we described that he was betrayed by the lieutenants of one of his sons, or one of the generals of his sons, and they banished him, sent him screeching across the galaxy, where the Republic picked him up. And he claims he doesn't have any memory of when that happened, or any recollection of where he came from, but he has like perfect
sense of direction.
Exactly. Like he knows exactly that they are moving at this degree, in this direction, at this time. Yeah. Then we get to the fact that so earlier they were saying that they had a distress beacon, that there was a person who was guaranteed, which as we found out in the last issue, guaranteed means that you have
the ability to be retrieved once you die, your soul just goes floating aimlessly through space unless you have a guarantee on you. Pretty much meaning you got to have some use to you.
Because it was really difficult and really expensive or something.
Yeah.
And so that if you had a guarantee, then you had all rights reserved, that they would find you and they would bring you back into a new body, to grow one for you.
Right. And we've already, we've seen characters say that this guy's been... Which character was it? And I think it was in the last issue where they, pick someone up again. Who's
Shin. Shin, yeah.
And he's never had a guarantee on him, and he just keeps managing to get picked up or retrieved somehow. That was the whole point of the last issue, I believe, was he's never had a guarantee, and he's
hard
been
to pick you up.
It was his 7th retrieval or something.
It's hard to pick you up unless you have a guarantee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so all right, this is the same character we're talking.
Yeah, the same character. Sweet. And the last time we showed him in the bathroom, he had all these fresh cuts on him and all these tribalistic pentagrams and stuff. Yeah. Well, now we find out that there was a demon inside him the whole time, and this person that they did pick up and still in crisis, cryogenic.
Sato Shin.
Right, Sato Shin. Hit the demon in him, wakes up the demon in this frozen dude, and that's pretty much where we leave off.
And Topo, I think, is the demon or something like it's
right, something Topo. It eludes me.
Yeah, but
Lieutenant Colonel Topo.
Yeah.
Yep.
This book is fucking awesome, man. I have a lot of times I really like to space sci-fi operas and stuff, but it's a lot of times writers just have a hard time pulling me in because I have such a simplistic need for my reading a lot.
I think a lot of it is that you want to know without a doubt a lot of the world building, and me I'm happy to jump in with very little details
That's totally there.
Throughout a long story, I will learn. If I care about your world, I will learn and I will care about it and I will grab onto it. Whereas you're more like, hey, I kind of want to be explained to me. I don't want to be left in the dark about how this works. Like, I'm a sci-fi guy, so I'm just used to like a cryogenic hydroplaning flux capacitor. Like, I have no idea what the fuck that is, but cool, yeah, sci-fi shit. Gotcha.
You may explain it to me later on, or you may not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Either way, like, I'm intrigued. Go on. You've got cool technology I've never heard of powering your things.
I don't want you to explain everything. I want a lot of this to be because it is space opera, which is like heavily influenced by like something that's alien or something that's very futuristic beyond our comprehension, and I want it to feel that way. I want it to feel alien.
That's why I want to praise John Layman, because he's able to do all that, but still draw a reader like me who has a hard time with that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really don't have any questions at this point.
Yeah,
like,
I really like this because it's that cosmic space horror. And the way it's delivered, it definitely feels that way. But then I like the writing, like these glyphs and these words are like these mathematical computations. Like that's so cool.
How they
and
have
then
like
this
the
art style
the
with
mathematicians and like the navigators and all.
And how they're like they're able to pull in like the sci-fi, but they're also able to bring in like the voodoo and the spiritual, religious stuff, and like make it otherworldly, but cohesive in a story. I love
I think that's one of the things that's really cool about Predator is that you've got a lot of the sci-fi to it.
Primitive with advanced.
Exactly. Yeah. You've got a lot of this primitive, very tribal ritual going on.
But they're
technologically very advanced.
Right.
And like the ritualistic thing in here would say like be the guarantee situation, the death situation. Like it's a ritual, the guarantee and the retrieval and all of that. Like to me, that I found that like just through 4 issues, like I got a good grasp on that now, because it was really only brought up in like issue 2.
Right.
And in issue 3, I was like, I think I knew it by issue 3 to be honest. But now at issue 4, it's like fucking.
And
good
their
job.
ship runs on like a trapped god.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
feed.
that shit.
Like,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
It's just a cool story, and these hauntings and these cosmic like ghosts and stuff. Like,
I think
and you have this guy who is like an alien god, and they have this like Egyptian godlike alien like.
And even all the crew members are cool because Riggs is. Or
Captain Riggs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a dick, but at the same all of these characters have a very already known type of personality. I already feel like you know what you're gonna get out of them, and I mean that in a good way.
They have an archetype, but we're still building on to see like more depth between them.
Right, like Elox and. I love that comment because like ride or die, like most of the time this isn't the right thing to do. But I got you, boss. Like, I like that type of mentality. It's almost like the Han Solo Chewbacca type of thing, without one of them being a fucking giant Wookiee.
Talking about his big Samoan friend?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just everything about... But I think the biggest draw for me, besides, the writing that is simplistic enough for me to draw into this, is the fact that it has a different type of art style for a story like this. Usually these space stories are like hyper fucking detailed, so you can't focus on the story itself. You're like, fucking space, and that ship design is so... Not to say any of this designing isn't cool, but it's simple, but it's still astonishing at the same point.
These bright colors and these like not so grotesque, dripping, detailed, gory stuff, but more just... It's able to show that cosmic horror, but still make it like fun and vibrant.
Well, it's not a line work book; it's a color book.
It is for sure.
I believe this story visually is told by color, not the line work, and that's
Alpha Chan does a great job on these colors. One of my favorite. The colors on these are just always so exciting.
Probably my favorite space book out there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, no, I'm loving it. Let's move on. We got a lot of books to talk about.
Now that Vader's taking a break, I think this would be my favorite space one. Yeah, for sure.
Fucking Boom Studios. I finally get to talk about Go Power Rangers.
Go Power
17. Ryan Perot, Eleonora Carlini, Simona Di Gianfelice, and Raul Angulo. Hope I got that. And the cover by Marcus too, and Raul Angulo's pretty fucking dope. From my understanding, I think Midtown, when they came out with this, they randomly either gave you an A or a B cover. Okay. I didn't order mine through Midtown. I have my LCS. I go to my line comics to pick it up. But I think when we were scrolling through and looking at next week's release last week through Midtown, the Power Rangers was a random book. So, yeah, who knows what cover you got there. This book right here, I don't need to talk a whole lot about, but I will say this is the most Power Ranger book I think I've ever read.
Oh, yeah?
This is so... and this is why it's not my first time. We're through 17 issues. I've been reading up until 8 when they started the Shattered Grid or whatever. But I can never, like, figure out what to talk about in the Power Rangers books.
Mm-hmm.
This Power Rangers book, it's just, it took me back to, like, 1996, fucking coming home.
Fuck yeah.
Like, so...
Well, it already shows that with Rita Repulsa being on the cover.
Right? And this is another, like, heavy Rita Repulsa story. So we start out 10,000 years ago on planet Iutus, and we get the birth of Rita Repulsa. And Zordon's there to oversee it. And he's like, oh, yeah, this bitch will be cool. Flash forward. So, what we get out of that is we learn that Rita's mom, there was some sort of tragedy or whatnot. Rita's over 10,000 years old. I think we all knew that. But Zordon was there for the birth. From the get-go, he's been there for Rita, with Rita. So, I didn't realize that Zordon was that much older than Rita. I actually thought they were the same age. So, cool. Learn something. Flash forward, we get some fucking kids in high school. And we get a lot of that. You know, Zach and all of them, they got love problems. And then they get the fucking call, like a Power Ranger does.
Right. Saved by the Bell to superhero.
Yeah. So they go to... The call comes from a history museum or whatever. And meanwhile... Rita is trying to cause a distraction so she can go off and learn what this dragon coin is in peace. And then, so I go ahead and just go and tell you that she needs to go see her mom in order to do that. So she has her boys, Finster and whatnot. They, makes his little clay thing and it comes to life. And this monster, may I say, is so fucking cool. The name of it, everything about it. Fucking Stabosaurus Rex. And so we get the Power Rangers fighting a Stabosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not fucking Power Rangers, dude!
Stabosaurus.
And then,
oh my God.
and then, Alpha shows up. But not Alpha 5, Alpha 1. This motherfucker comes in and just cleans house. He's like, fuck you guys, we got shit to do. Like, Rita's doing, oh my God, and shit. And, Alpha, robot arms on podcast, good podcasting. But as Alpha does, so this Alpha 1 apparently is just fucking dope. I didn't know Alpha 1 was a thing. Cool design. You'd still tell it's an Alpha bot, but I'm dropped the comic, I'm so excited. And then Rita ends up making her way to summon her mother, Lady Fianna, and bum bum bum, we leave off. So
bum bum bum.
This, honestly, I felt like this was, I almost felt like I just got done watching the show after reading this.
That's cool.
Like I didn't, the panels almost moved to me because it was just so fucking true to the tone of Power Rangers. Like even the shit that I normally don't like in comic books, like the teenage going through hormones and whatever and love stories and we were in the same body earlier and whatever.
Oh, that old shtick.
Yeah, yeah, classic. Perot still makes it. I don't know if it's Parrot or Perot, but Ryan. I'm just going to go with Ryan. Does a good job with this book, and I think we're gonna get another fucking event coming up tying in the two worlds, and I think that we got teased fucking White Ranger coming again back in the canon. So.
Okay. So it sounds like you enjoyed this one. Do you recommend it?
Oh, I do. Especially, and if I gotta say, like, a good jumping on point would be number 8, and then read through the whole Shattered Grid thing, and then I think at, like, number 13 is when it goes into its own story again. So, if you want to know what the Shattered Grid, start at 8, otherwise, start at 13. So, it's easy to jump onto, is my point. Or start at fucking 1. I don't know. It's Power Rangers. That's good. I'm glad I finally got to talk about it.
Me too.
Do you have any other indies to talk about?
First up, I read Whispering Dark, Christopher Emgard and Tomas Era. I've been talking about this one as it comes out every month. I've enjoyed it. This is the final issue. This is part 4 of 4. our crew continues to make their way through Russia, but this time they seem to be in this like barren wasteland, a chasm, and there's this big, tall, black obsidian tower, and they go inside, and on a throne of rock, they see a winged demon. Of course, we've had some like religious tones to this whole thing, and her slow descent into madness, and this demonic, devilish like aura or entity that's been plaguing them as they get further and further to Russia. And she has some flashbacks, she has some dialogue with the demon, and she kills the rest of her crew. She's unleashed demons that are now annihilating the army. They show her in the army tent, a bunch of people being killed, tanks being overtaken by these giant demons.
Do you mean the demon, the winged creature?
I don't remember her name.
Gaul. G-O-H-O. Gaul.
Yeah, the pilot for the helicopter when they crash landed.
That's the one you're talking. Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure who you meant by she is what I'm saying. Okay, gotcha.
And she goes into the tent. She doesn't want to be a victim to this demon anymore. She puts the gun to her head and blam. And then it shows her eyes open, blood red, and it says, "Ha ha ha ha, perfect. Welcome home." And it shows her flayed on a cross, this porcelain skin flaking off, and it's her in hell. If you haven't read this, I'm not doing it any justice. The artwork is fun, the story is serious and religious, but more with like a satanic, demonic tone to it.
Well, it looks like Bing's it's only like a 4-part mini.
It is.
It seems like something that it kind of if you like horror. This is my first time actually like looking at it.
This is like an
personally.
episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah, cool. I enjoy the character design quite a bit. Specifically this demon monster, but even more specifically, his throne. Like since we started,
It's like broken pillar.
I was stuck on his throne pretty much during your entire explanation there, because it's fucking metal. Like it is just a giant fucking hunk of obsidian, isn't it? Or some sort of rock.
It just looks like it was like this. Yeah, giant stone egg or pillar, and it's just been cracked and carved away. And
just think, if we get enough patrons, like we could have one of these here in the studio. Like I know a guy that makes these.
That would be dope.
Yeah, they're just like $10 trillion. So 6 more patrons, and we'll reach that $10 trillion.
Fuck yeah,
market.
6 more patrons.
At at $4 trillion a patron. Math. Yeah, I'm going for a bonus. No, the fact is, I really enjoyed this art style. All the characters seem to be very recognizable, even though I don't know any of them. The art is very. It almost kind of like it reminds me of Spicer a little bit. The subtle line work, but at the same time showing the grittiness when it needs to be shown. I like it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this one, and it's come to an end, unfortunately, but. I mean, this is a team that I'm going to be looking forward to anything else they put out.
But it doesn't look like a very gratifying end, and I mean that in a good way. Like in a horror story type of way.
I mean, it matches the tone. It's the kind of story they promised in the very beginning.
It ain't happy ending. It ain't the Babadook where you scream the demon away.
So, God, that was awful.
There's no MacGuffin that they go and steal and everybody lives happily ever after. It's a demonic, sad horror tone.
It's cool that I could tell that just flipping through the 4th issue. Like it just flipping through and you explain. I still want to go through and read the story now. So
yeah,
right on, man. I like it. Fucking A.
Yeah. And just to wrap up indies, I would like to talk about Scooby-Doo Apocalypse.
Well, it's actually a DC title.
Well, that would be a good segue then.
Let's segue right into fucking DC, man.
Okay, so Scooby-Doo Apocalypse, J.M. DeMatteis and Pat Olive. We've got Tom Pollard on inks, and I believe the cover was done by Dan Mora.
The Dan Mora cover is dope, by the way. I don't know what type of creature Scooby has in his mouth. But,
just the arm of some kind of swamp thing, it looks like.
And good old...
Daphne with the freaking Gatling gun? Hell yeah.
I cursed this book by subscribing to it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
coming to an end. Tell us how this is leading up to our 2 or 3 issues remaining.
So we start off with kind of a flashback about how a lot of this started. We have like the brilliant woman who was born, but she was, very intelligent. She didn't have friends. And then came along 4 brothers, 4 men who gave her the attention and, praise that she so desired, and that they made a nanoparticle. They made something that was supposed to go out in the world, and it was supposed to take out all the bad things of mankind, and it was supposed to amplify the good, but the brothers reprogrammed it without her knowledge. And instead, it amplified their demonic, the evilness within them, and that's what made everybody into monsters. Well, that brilliant woman was Velma. So, I mean, we haven't been reading it. I'm sure they already told everybody that, but yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah, so excuse our ignorance, disclaimer right there. We both were late to the boat on this one.
Very.
But we're going to talk to you guys like it's your first time reading it too, so bear with us.
We got this little bit. We show Fred, we show him dying, and then we show like these green swarm of, I'm sure, are the nanites swarming into him, and his eyes opening up. Then we cut to this cut of this run of Scooby, the thing who would be king, and they're talking about the nanite king. He's the one controlling all these monsters, and he has surrounded this complex that all these survivors are in. I'm not going to go too much into detail because we haven't been really following.
Yeah, we could make ourselves look pretty stupid if we talk too much about
it.
But
Fred's telling them, well, it's the nanites, you guys need to join me, you need to be what I am, I have this power, we can stop the nanite king. Daphne obviously doesn't believe him, she thinks that he's a monster, that he's a fraud, it's not really Fred in there. Well, the complex gets attacked, and they are overrun, and they are given a good run in a battle, and then all of a sudden we got the nanite king's army just decimated and laid out, and we got all these blue nanites swarming back into Fred. He's really telling the truth. He's able to stop them. And we cut to next, the beginning of the end. So I think they are going to wrap up this story.
I don't know if there's 2 or 3 more issues left, but I think this actually did a good enough job for me to definitely want to read the last 3 issues, just to know, even though I don't know what the hell has been going on. At this point, the only thing I know about the story is that recently Shaggy knocked up Velma.
Yep.
So she's got a god floating around inside of her, because we all know Shaggy's a god, right?
According to Reddit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we all know that. Sorry, didn't mean to waste your time explaining that. I really, really enjoy this art style, like the wispy ink work reminds me of fucking.
Yeah, I like it. I like this more like somber, realistic, post-apocalyptic Scooby-Doo. Not these cheesy guys in costumes. I love Scooby-Doo. But this is a different take that I really enjoy, and I'm really sad that it took us so long to jump on it. And this is something I'm going to get the trades.
Definitely getting the trades, probably even like the omnibus, because it's going to be, I think,
that might
like
be the way to
40
go.
issues or something like that.
But I really hope these Adam Ant stories are in the omnibus like this, because they are fun. I've only read 2 of them, but I like them.
I'm not gonna lie. From every time I look up the reviews on this book, it's people are talking more about the Adam Ant.
Oh yeah,
fucking.
They're just small little stories, but I like them. They are fun.
The Hanna-Barbera and DC stories have been some of my favorite DC titles, man. It
too
sucks
bad that this pairing's gonna end.
This relationship's going away.
I wonder who's gonna pick up Hanna-Barbera.
I don't know. I could see, like, I don't know. Would IDW pick up, like? It's not a dark horse, obviously.
Well, I thought the separation was actually on the Hanna-Barbera Corporation's part.
Yeah, I think they're pulling out.
Do they have their own comic
I thought
label?
it was actually Hanna-Barbera Corp that was actually pulling out because, like, honestly, I would like to say that this is something that Joseph Hanna would definitely endorse.
Do they?
I think it's the company that, as it exists now, that's pulling out.
Well, my biggest question is, do they have their own label? Because, I mean, if they're just going to produce their stuff on their own, I'm cool with that. I mean, obviously I like the crossovers, but if they can keep it going to where, like, they're making these cartoonish-looking characters, like, Beastly, like how they did with Yogi.
I don't see them ending the comics. I'm sure they've got to have a plan.
Well, and I could, from what I've seen, I could definitely see the Scooby-Doo apocalypse going on without requiring DC characters for it to continue.
Well, I think because there's more than one title. You know what? I don't know if the Scooby-Doo title is DC or not.
So you're doing Scooby Apocalypse, and there's also Scooby-Doo Apocalypse.
Well, no, there's just
Scooby Apocalypse. It's just Scooby Apocalypse.
It's Scooby Apocalypse, and then there's just like the Scooby-Doo whave like your normal.
Yeah,
it's not an
Scooby-Doo
apocalypse book.
as well.
It's more of like a for everyone.
But they're all published
Apocalypse
by DC,
is for
right?
adults. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna look up right now. No, you can fucking keep talking. I don't know. Scooby-Doo comic. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's DC or not. No, it is DC. It is.
It looks like they have worked with Marvel in the past as well, though.
Oh, Hanna-Barbera and Marvel? Oh, fuck. Bam! Eat your heart out, DC.
I mean, I'm sure Hanna-Barbera has some kind of business reason that they're doing this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we totally went off the rails there because we get excited about our own old people cartoons.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of bummed about them leaving. But
yeah, we'll see what the future has in store for us.
But I have a feeling that we're going to be left off very well with the ending of this apocalypse story. So
yeah, I was kind of worried. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to wrap it up with such a short notice, but I think they're leading to that. I think we'll have it.
I have faith. Well, we're gonna keep talking about DC. You know what? We forgot to talk about something else. Fucking, now that the beers are working, let's talk about what we're drinking. We're doing sample pack this week from what fucking brewery is this?
Let me correct
Conan
myself.
Brewing Company.
Let me correct myself real quick. It isn't Joseph Hanna. It's William Hanna and Joseph Barbera.
Look at you. Thanks for not making yourself look really stupid there, Mason.
Oh, I do that easily on
we're a perfect podcast, and you almost ruined us.
Oh, yes, never a fact gone wrong here.
But yeah, no, we're drinking the Conan Brewing sample pack. I personally have the Longboard, which is an island lager. And what are you doing?
Currently, I have a golden ale.
What do they call that one?
Big Wave.
Big Wave.
Big Wave. Cool. I tried you guys had the IPA too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I had
Yeah, the Castaway.
Yeah, whatever that was.
And then we have the Fire Rock, which is another pale ale. It's just not India Pale Ale.
Yeah. So good stuff. I want to say these guys are out of Portland because Hawaii and all.
They are based out of Hawaii, but they have a company in Portland, Oregon, and Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Sweet. Oh, speaking of beers, I did actually remember we talked about the Hellboy thing.
Yeah.
I actually got a hold of them. And they're going to...
The brewing company, Gigantic out of Oregon. Yeah.
We talked about the Hellboy thing.
Fuck yeah.
We might actually be getting some beers. We don't have...
are we going to be able to sample these?
Possibly. I hit them up. They gave me some contact information. And I delved a little deeper. And it sounds like they will give me an affirmative yes or no on the release date of the beer, which we forgot to mention. Which would be March 1st. So hopefully soon enough we get some answers. Either way, I'm going to try to get my hands on this, whether they ship it to us or not, because this is right up our fucking alley.
I'm sure we got to find a way we can get it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Just a 6er sample pack would be great for the show.
Yeah, just something so we could tell everybody what they taste like as the show goes on. And it's Hellboy, come on.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to mention that there is hope. There is hope. But let's talk about more comic books. We just
stay on the DC train. What do you want to talk about?
Fucking Wonder Twins, bro. I remember a while back when you cringed when I mentioned the Wonder Twins.
I didn't cringe. It's just it's just not a pairing that I have any love for. Or
did you ever watch Justice Friends?
I did, and I just didn't care about the Wonder Twins.
Neither did I. But the thing is they're doing a really good job with this book. Is it something that I need to read every week? No. It's still from DC's Wonder Comics label, so it is more directed, towards teenage readers or younger readers. And not to say that an adult can't enjoy it, because I did actually enjoy this book. But I think it was strictly young nostalgia's sake. It's not like this was like a super, oh shit, I wonder what's going to happen type of story. The fact that the villain was Mr. Mxyzptlk alone says that this is fucking goofy as shit. So our two twins, Jaina and Zan, they're having a hell of a time in high school, kinda. Some of them are doing good, some of them aren't. Which Zan has a pivotal moment in every one of these alien races' life where they get what do they call it? A thunderlust. And it's almost like their version of puberty. Like a thunderstorm happens and they're like, oh, that feels really good. That's kind of how it's described. Well, he gets his on the football field or whatever. So it's pretty much like, oh, look at my puberty stage in front of everyone. So he's super embarrassed. Meanwhile, everyone else is like, guy kind of just like got struck by lightning. It's cool. But at the same time, they're like, you fucking, I don't know. I don't understand the embarrassment here. Fast forward, these guys, as they should, show up to the Hall of Justice, and we get an interaction with the Justice League. I'm going to call them the Justice Friends for the sake of this book. And there's evil afoot, and there's a, just so happens to be Mr. Mxyzptlk, and Superman is shitted, because that's just one of Superman's just, it's like Doomsday, Mr. Mxyzptlk. So, yeah.
Okay.
So they got to figure out how to get Mr. Mxyzptlk to say his name backwards, because that's how he goes back to where he's from.
Like Alex Trebek.
Sure. I feel like I've heard that somewhere, but I'm not gonna get into
It's an old Family Guy joke.
Gotcha. Well, the Justice Friends come back from trying to fight Mr. Mxyzptlk, and they get their ass kicked, and then Wonder Twin powers activate, and they just go about their day afterwards, whatever. Like, I'm not doing a good job of telling this in order, but I'm just trying to tell you, like, the fun parts. And
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but the fact is that we do get in form of water at some point.
Of course,
So-
of course.
But they really do nothing. They like doing on their way home. Like one of them turns into an eagle, and the other one like turns into water and races through the sewer or whatever. And he's like, fucking earth sewers are gross. And yeah, so it's very lighthearted humor.
Sure.
But the Wonder Twins end up taking out Mr. Mxyzptlk by, how do they do it? They don't say his name backwards. They're talking to like the abandoned supercomputer in the Hall of Justice that people have just forgotten about for years, and the supercomputer gets the thing Mxyzptlk to say his name backwards with like minimal effort or whatever. So yeah, it's super cheesy, but I wouldn't have my Wonder Twins any other way. Am I subscribed from here on out? I might pick up an issue when I'm fiending, but it's for the young folks for sure.
So if you have any love or nostalgia for the Wonder Twins, sounds like your book.
But at the same time, it's also for the old folks, because it's fucking Wonder Twins. So it's the ultimate guilty pleasure book, is what I'm trying to say.
You enjoyed it though.
I did. I did enjoy it.
Right on. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Moving along, Flash number 64, part 2 of the Price of Innocence tie-in that's going along with Batman. So yeah, we finally get that cover that's been like the ad piece in every DC book for like 2 fucking months. So we won't have to see that ad in the DC. It's always confusing to me.
Yay, new ads.
Because I'm like scrolling through and it's like as bad as the Snickers thing was. I'm like, oh shit, Justice League shows up out of nowhere.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, fucking Flash and Batman are dead. Where's it? No. So we don't have to see that ad anymore. Because this is the book. Gotham Girl, brother drama. We could just speed right through this because there's not really a whole lot of like
a lot
huge
of dialogue
talking
in
points.
between Batman and the Flash, and internally like, well, we haven't really talked about this. We need to keep moving forward.
But speaking
we work
of
well together, he's trying.
Right, and then there's a little bit of drama like, fucking Wally's dead, and we haven't figured that out. But here we are trying to figure out Gotham Girl's bullshit. But if there's one thing that I want to point out in this book, it's a total like jab at Tom King, and Flash and Batman are making their way through whatever to get to fucking Castle whatever, and where are they going? Gotham Girl's secret hideout castle or whatever. And they got this information because she tracked in a leaf, and they combined their detective skills. It's pretty cool detectiving. This almost feel like I really like how they threw that in there. But the fact is, they're making their way through the thing, and they're trying to make small talk. And Flash is like, oh yeah, so what's it like being married to Selena and all that? And Batman's
but you don't know?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You didn't know? And then he just like totally shushes Batman because he's getting a call. Like, I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah. Like, they just, still no fucking wedding. They gotta keep jabbing at it. I think that's just going to be like a meme of comic books from here on. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, and I don't know. It's a cool. My first time really reading a Flash book, I guess, since I guess the annual a couple weeks ago was my first time reading a Flash book, and I knew I had to subscribe because I got to know what the fuck's going on in my Batman.
Right.
And Joshua Williamson is also the same writer. Well, Tom King took a break, but yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I just not sure what to talk about in it, other than the fact that we get a relationship dynamic between.
And I like the internal dialogue between them both, like. I've always secretly wondered who's a better detective,
That was
Barry or
good.
me.
Yeah.
I've always respected, that he is the greatest detective, and it's just like,
Yeah, it is. They're totally like stroking each other, but at the same, like all in their heads. Like it's all like internal dialogue.
we want to make this work, but we have the death of Wally on our hands.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff, man. So Flash 64. Justice League Dark number 8. James Tynion IV. Alvaro Martinez Bueno, Raul Fernandez, and Brad Anderson. And the cover by Kelly Jones and Michelle Madsen is pretty fickin' dupe.
Yeah, I like that cover.
Yeah, and it actually makes sense in the book. You'll see more of that good stuff on the last page.
Do tell me.
So I've been praising this book again. I go up and down because sometimes it loses me, especially when it started and then threw it into a weird Wonder Woman event. So it lost me for a while. But it's gaining momentum back. There's still a lot of questions to be answered. Some of the storytelling in this one, I'm not sure, but Tynion does a good enough job of not leaving gaps, so I'm sure it's all going to be explained later. For instance, the man-bat sequence in the beginning is drug out through the whole book, and I feel like a lot of the dialogue is just very unnecessary, to be honest. But it is a heavy dialogue scene because it's just him in a room by himself talking to himself, and he's trying to summon something. And then eventually we find out he's trying to summon, what is he trying to summon? Khalid Nassar. Ask me what Khalid Nassar is.
Who is Khalid Nassar?
I don't fucking know. Hopefully we find out soon. But, so yeah, that's the man bat of this. It's cool that it sounds like I'm shitting on this book right away. I actually really did enjoy this book. Like I said, it's just the way some of the storytelling was done was just like, I don't need Tarantino and directing every comic book, just tell apart, it just bounces all over the place. Makes it kind of confusing. Meanwhile, Zatanna and Wonder Woman are fighting shit. So we get a back and forth of them fighting shit in pretty cool ways. Zatanna's been pretty fucking kick-ass. She's probably the most important character of this team because she's the most magically...
Seems like it.
Yeah. She's the key to beating Dr. Fate, which seems to be the evil villain in this. So they're going through trying to she's got this gem of some sort she needs answers to, which leads to Felix Foss. He's fucking pretty much useless, and he leads them to Hell's Kitchen. They meet this guy named Midnight, who's like a club owner, and they get some more information there, and then leaving off. And then my favorite arc of the story, though, is Bobo and Swamp Things. So they're at the Oblivion Bar. Did you read this? Okay. They're at the Oblivion Bar, which is Bobo's bar now. And we've got a bunch of little miniature Swamp Thing servants running around. And boy, are they fucking cute.
Aww.
Yeah. So you don't actually see Swamp Thing. You just see a bunch of these little mini servants running around serving drinks and whatnot. And, what happened? Something fucking Etrigan shows up? Who is it that shows up? Here, let me see that real quick. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, no, the other kind show up. We're those are the really weird creatures or whatever. Etrigan does show up in the bar. Mm. And we get a cool... That's when you see all the mini Swamp Things come together and form Swamp Thing itself, which was cool. I didn't know Swamp Thing could do that.
Yeah, not me either.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, we get a cool thing with the demon Etrigan. And more than anything, it seems like he's more of a warning. And then the other kind show up in the bar, and Bobo takes out his precious Nightmaster sword that we saw a few issues ago. Mm-hmm. Bobo's the possessor of the Nightmaster sword, and he opens up his portal to Mira, trying to get all the people in the bar to safety, and then they come across the Lords of Order. Ask me who the Lords of Order are.
Who are the Lords of Order?
I don't fucking know. But we're going to find out soon, because Tynion doesn't lead us astray very often. But they look pretty cool. It looks like fucking Dr. Fate with the melty face. I think that's what it has to do with the cover there.
Oh, sure.
But,
yeah. That's some cool character design, actually.
It really is. So this is actually a first appearance of the Lords of Fate. That's... when I say ask me, nobody knows except for James Tynion, pretty much.
Cool.
And the DC editors. So, yeah, no, this was it's a cool book. I was confused with the Man-Bat part. I'm really hoping that the next issue is more focused on whoever this Khalid Nassar character is. Mm-hmm. And the whole detectiving going on with Zatanna and Wonder Woman, I'm assuming that's going to be... those questions are going to be answered better. But if this book was just Swamp Thing and Bobo teaming up, I'd be perfectly fine with that too. So as long as those two are together in the same panel, I think I'll be content with this book.
Right on.
Yeah, I know you're not a huge fan of the JL Dark, but I do believe it to be the best Justice League story.
I mean, it's cool. It's just not on my pull list at the moment.
Yeah. I honestly think if DC were to ever do a team-up movie again, that would be the fucking movie I would want to see. Because it's just the most intriguing characters. They're not your Trinity, you know.
That might be a little too out there for the general masses.
Out there works sometimes, man. Detective Comics 998. I finally got Detective Comics on my list.
Cool, we could talk about this one this week.
Yes, 2 issues to 1,000. We've got... Peter J. Tomasi, Doug Mankey, Jaime Mendoza, Mark Irwin, and Dave Barron. And the cover by Mankey, Mendoza, and Barron is pretty fucking cool. Super vibrant. It's more Etrigan. It was the week of the Demon Etrigan. What's going on in this? Did you read Detective Comics?
I did. So we start off with Batman interrogating Hugo Strange, where we left off last week.
It looks like he's going through all of his mentors, pretty much. Seems to be the theme of this book. He's like going through...
Well, that's kind of what's been going on with this story.
Okay.
That this creation that's able to change shapes and travel and have all kinds of these mystical abilities has been targeting all of his old masters, people who have trained him, people who have led him to be the Batman that he is now. And so he thinks it's Hugo Strange because he thinks it's one of his creations. But even Hugo's like, nothing I've made is this intricate. Let me have a sample. Well... we get to Batman. He calls one of his special suits that was forged in the sun and has all these different people's technology, but it feeds off of his metabolism. It feeds off of his life force. But he's calling in the big guns, and he goes to his friend who's containing the demon Etrigan. Like, what's his name
Jason
again?
Blood.
Jason Blood. He figures that he's going to be next, and he's right. This abomination who is saying that it is the same as Batman. It is the fear of him. It is the fear that he has created. This is like a manifestation of that. So I think they have this really awesome, battle between them two. A lot of cool action scenes.
With Etrigan and Batman?
No, the creature.
That's right, because he takes Batman to hell. Like, that's what the Hellbat suit was designed for, is to be able to fight in hell. So
they definitely get there. I don't think they're in hell, but they definitely have a pretty cool battle.
No, maybe
I don't think so. I think it's...
That. I interpret that like they went to hell at some point. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they're still flying through Gotham in this panel right here.
Shit, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I made my... Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, so they have this battle. Batman does win. He has a talk with Jason Blood.
Yes.
Jason Blood. He wants to go to...
Star Labs.
He's going to meet Dr. Stone.
Silas Stone, which is Cyborg's dad.
Yep. And he's also the man who helped with a lot of Batman's earlier technology.
Yeah.
So
this was, like I said, I'm new to Detective Comics. I think this is my first time actually reading Detective Comics. And it's cool. We get a little 3-part arc lead up to 1,000, which I'm pretty sure is just going to be a collection of stories, to be honest. I'm not sure how much 1,000.
I don't know.
But... I am happy because I've heard nothing but great things about Tomasi's Detective Comics. I'm probably going to go back and read the last arc they did with his whole parents and all of that shit. But I think the Hellbat suit is another first appearance, so this is a low-key key.
Could be,
I believe.
Yeah. Yep, so, yeah.
Fucking A, man. I'm glad that you have been reading it the last couple weeks.
I mean, I've only been reading this, I think, my third.
Can you really get enough Batman? Like, there's some characters that
well, this
there's
is a
shit ton of
different
Spider-Man.
Batman.
It is. It really is. Like,
but it still has a lot of the same tones of Batman's past and this psychological stuff happening to him right now, and the return of Thomas Wayne, and just like some interesting mirrors between the two.
Yeah, for sure. And I gotta give credit to the Hellbat suit design. I don't.
Fucking cool.
The fact that like he can make half of the helm disappear, it reminded me. Like, I hate to say that they bit off of Iron Man's suit a little bit, but it really reminded me of that, especially like the inner like showing his face.
I mean, there's a lot of similarities between the two characters.
There totally is, but at the same time, it was still very much Batman. Like, I don't know. I really like the design of the Hellbat suit, and I like to see it in continuity more. I want to see the Hellbat suit fight fucking the Grim Knight, because I think that would be a dope fight.
That would be a dope fight. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about more of the Grim Knight later on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we are. In the meantime, we're gonna talk about Superman. Did you read Superman?
I did not.
Dude. Superman, number 8. Brian Michael Bendis, Ivan Reis, Brandon Peterson, Joe Prado, and the wonderful Alex Sinclair doing colors. Same artistic team did the cover. This book is so... I don't understand. I listen to other comic book podcasts, and I don't understand why nobody likes this book. I really don't. Maybe it's because I'm a brand new Superman reader, and I don't have a bias, but I've never liked this character at all, and the fact that I enjoyed this book so fucking much tells me something that maybe this book is good.
I mean, if you like it, that's all that matters.
I really like this book a lot. So, we've been building up to the whole what the fuck happened with John Kent while he was in space. And that's what this story is. He's telling his parents while they're scanning him for any type of space cancer and all of that shit.
Right.
He's telling his parents about his time with with Jor-El in space, and why he realized he needed to get the fuck out of there. And that's pretty much the story we get. And it comes down to Jor-El is just the most, I don't want to say negative, but he has no hope for whatever. He's like, there's no answer to anything. I know you're out here seeking answers. What if I just said that no, there's no answer? And then John's like, that's a shitty thing to tell a fucking 11-year-old. And it just like weighs on him. And then they even say like, and that's when I realized my grandfather or I had to get out of here. So during their whole thing, you know, you can't just like leave Jor-El when you're in the middle of space and you have no idea where the fuck you are.
Right.
So he's going through all these battles and everything, and he's constantly like, he's just, I didn't expect this to be like this. You know, they're like fighting all types of shit, and Jor-El's trying to be like the voice of reason in space or whatever. They don't really touch on all of that, but I don't find it to be important, to be honest. The fact is that
we have more of like a montage moment.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't like how he's going about things.
Okay.
And then they come across the Lantern Corps at one point, and like John's like, it's Kilowog and oh shit, I forgot her name. One of the other Lanterns, and he's pretty much like, dude, take me back to Earth. Like, let's go. Like, he's not looking, let's go. Well, he was fucking looking, and he shows up, and he was like, oh, you want to go back to Earth? Okay. So he's like, oh, I guess, whatever. So they're on their way back, and they describe it was just the whole trip, it was silent, until a black hole appears, and the crime syndicate of Earth 3 shows up. And John's separated from Jor-El at this point. He went into the black hole, Jor-El didn't, or whatever. So the crime syndicate of Earth 3, I feel like is something that's not new, but it very well could be. But it's just an evil version of the Justice League, pretty much.
Okay.
And yeah. So it's I liked it quite a bit. I liked how the mother aspect that Lois was doing the whole time. They're secretly scanning. He's like, wait, you scan it? You thought I had space cancer? They're like, well, we can't be too sure. Like, he didn't know they were scanning him for all of that stuff. And I don't know. I thought it was a cool family dynamic. Oh shit. I forgot to mention the most important part.
What's that?
The best part of this book is once Superman realizes that he had lost all of those years. Mm-hmm. With his son, he's like, I'll be right back. And Superman goes into space and he just starts fucking up space, like asteroids and everything. He's like, I can't just go into space and blast asteroids. Everything has a butterfly effect. Who knows? And then he's like, and then just so happens that one of the planets he's flying around has Mongol, the planet destroyer, the planet destroyer there. He's like, perfect. I'll take my anger out on Mongol. So he just beats the shit out of Mongol for a bit and then flies back. He's like, okay. Got some of that out. Like, it was just
got some of his anger out.
Yeah, and he does it in a moment because it's fucking Superman. So I don't know. I really enjoyed that. The dude was like, oh, how convenient is this? Like, a fucking Mongol's here. I'll just beat the shit out of him instead of sending all these crumbling asteroids flying through space, because who knows what I'm destroying when I do that.
Fair,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that. I can't believe I forgot that part. That was the seller of the whole fucking book. But
well, it sounds like you have continued to enjoy the series.
yeah, I'm stuck on Superman.
Hell
yeah. You got me on this one. Red Hood number 31. Red Hood Outlaw number 31. This is Outlaw and Ordered is the name of this story. Scott Lobdell, Pete Woods, and Rex Locus. And the cover by Matteo Scalero and Moreno Dionisio is pretty cool. Pretty cool. You got fucking, what's his name? Wingman on there?
You got Wingman, you've got Bunker. Oh, not on the cover. But
Yeah, no, not on the cover. We could probably fly through this one.
Yeah, we've got Solitary versus Red Hood.
Yeah, Solitary is like this. He manipulates reality. You kind of get a bit of a backstory on him. He's like three dudes wrapped into one, and hence his three weird heads.
Vibrating head things.
Yeah. So he's pretty much fucking schizo, is what it comes down to.
Well, during some dialogue and some battle, Red Hood Jason Todd throws a tire iron, misses Solitary, but he wasn't aiming at Solitary.
Yeah, no, I think this is actually the coolest part is I get to learn who Bunker is.
Yeah.
Once this thing came up, I went and I did a whole bunch of research on this character.
Oh yeah.
Fucking cool goddamn character.
Is he?
Yeah, no, he was a Titan for a bit, and I just, you don't get a whole lot of like Hispanic characters out there.
Uh-huh.
And this dude's fucking dope. Like he's
cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got that like the hola when he got out of the tank.
Yeah. So yeah, he apparently what's his Solitary's just scared the shit out of Bunker, because Bunker has cool powers we don't really need to get into because he doesn't really use them in here. He's just
not much.
His presence is enough.
Right, scares Solitary away.
Yeah, he scares him away. Red Hood goes after him. While he's chasing him, Wingman fucking shows up again. Like, the guy's, like, super C-list, and he just brushes him off again. And meanwhile, he's very aware of his failure. He's like, why couldn't I have just been honest with him? Maybe I can get him to fucking come back to Gotham with me.
Right.
I really like the Wingman thing, actually.
I like the freaking Red Hood dog. I like that Jason Todd now has a dog, and he's now a character.
It is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. This little dog is pretty fucking dope.
Well, continuing on with the book, we do have Solitary and Jason Todd having a little standoff, and Solitary gives a little story how he was a prisoner, they promised his release, they had 3 guys, put their brains in one, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is Solitary is claiming to be Jason Todd's father.
Yeah.
Jason Todd says, no, show me your arm. My dad has a tattoo of a batarang on his arm, rips off his sleeves, nah, you ain't him. Throws his
fucking
crowbar
right
through his chest.
Yeah, just fucking impales him, and life goes on.
But we stop with him at Roy Harper's funeral. He's finally gonna face the fact that his best friend is dead. But Wingman and Bunker are now his lackeys. They are his sidekicks. We are going to have a...
Are we gonna get another Red Hood and the Outlaws title? Because that's what this was originally.
I think so.
Red Hood and the Outlaws, and then it just switched to Red Hood Outlaw. I want to see another Outlaws team. I didn't get to read the Outlaws. I jumped on when it became Outlaw.
Yeah.
I like the Jason Todd story. It's slowly getting into more and more of these DC character titles, and as you recommend them to me, I'm liking them all. So what did you show me? You showed me a whole fucking bunch, man.
Likewise.
Goddamn right.
That's what this is all about. Just spreading good comics around.
Yes, it is. Speaking of good comics, this miniseries has lived up to all the hype that I gave it for myself. Batman Who Laughs number 3 of 6. Scott Snyder, Jock, and David Baron. The cover by Jock is dope. So, did you read this one?
Nope.
No? Oh, dude, you missed out. Have you been following the first 2?
I read the first one.
Oh, okay. So you're just leaving it all up to me to tell you all the goodness.
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong with that. Alright, so Batman is pretty much trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with this Last Laugh initiative. The Batman Who Laughs has compromised it, and the Last Laugh initiative is pretty much Gotham's last hope. It all involves the extremely intricate and old, worn-out waterway pipe system under Gotham. And Commissioner Gordon's son, James Gordon, who is a degenerate of sorts, he knows the waterways. So Batman needs him. Meanwhile, we get probably the... I don't know how to describe this, because probably are no words. We get the Batman Who Laughs versus the fucking Penguin.
Nice.
Yeah. Imagine my excitement here. Not only is this like a cool battle that you would expect to go no other way than it does, the dialogue that the Penguin shouts out, favorite line of dialogue all week. I've already shown you my panel. What does it say? Once Batman Who Laughs shows up with a fucking umbrella of his own and just starts like setting fire to the Iceberg Lounge. Penguin's words to his crew are, "Kill him, kill the Bat Gimp right fucking now." And god damn, is that not fucking something the Penguin say? And honestly, I don't hear it in any other voice besides Danny DeVito, because he will forever be the voice of the Penguin.
Sure.
The animated Penguin from the animated, that was a good fucking Penguin. But I think Danny DeVito just suits this story. So that's what I heard it. So you gotta hear that when you, whatever. But Batman Who Laughs prevails, but does leave Penguin to live after pretty fucking dope ass headbutt. But Batman Who Laughs.
That headband spikes, that would hurt.
Oh, dog. Dude, look at that fucking headbutt.
Dang. Oof.
Yeah. Ouchies. Ouchie boo boo. But he alive. We're good. Penguin ain't dead. Oswald lives on to deliver a message that we're not sure of. Meanwhile, Batman and James Gordon are making their way through this waterway system. And I should probably mention that Batman at this point is fighting the Joker serum. He had... The toxin was released. He's fixing to become the next Joker. Meanwhile, he's shot himself with all the anti-Joker venom he can.
Right.
And so you see a red-eyed Batman the whole time, and this is one thing that kind of confuses me, because when he goes up to face the Grim Knight, which happens down in the waterways, he's the one with the pale eyes, so it almost seems as if it would be backwards. The good Batman has the red eyes, the Batman has the white eyes.
This is a Batman who was infected, though.
It is. It very much is. So, I mean, it's the evilness is creeping up on him. It could be misleading when the Grim Knight comes in and they start battling and you see a wide-eyed Batman and a red man Batman and you're going for the red man Batman. I mean, that's really my only possibly... How do I say it? It doesn't go against normal... standards as far as good and evil goes. Usually, the red eye is the bad guy. I don't need to explain this to you guys. You guys are smart. But yeah, no, it's we get all that, and
do we get anything more about all these Bruce Waynes that have been showing up dead?
No, but we do get something to make up for that lack of answer. And after Batman makes his way past the Grim Knight, which is a battle that I actually think that you should read itself, because the Grim Knight's power, even though I wouldn't say power, but the thing that makes him one of the most interesting versions of evil Batman, he uses guns, but he doesn't have to, like, because he has, in his universe, he has control, it's Wayne technology, so he could just, like, take over a train and derail it without anybody knowing. So it's a pretty fucking powerful thing, and he flexes by like taking over like a fucking airship of some sort, and like uses it as as like the Joker would, like if you don't do blah blah blah, then this airship and blah blah. That sounded more like a fucking retarded Bane than anything, but yeah.
It was a spot on retarded Bane.
Totally. But the coolest thing is after he gets through, he's working in his little lab, and we get some very uneasy dialogue between he and Alfred. And you get a pretty disturbing reveal at the end. And it looks like Batman's answer to taking out the Batman Who Laughs is to embrace himself by becoming the Batman Who Laughs. And that dialogue that leads me to believe that is between... there's no way I could do it justice by reading it to you. But I will say that it's very, very cool and dark and disturbing. And any time that Pennyworth is talking, yeah, and it's not even Taylor's Pennyworth, it's Snyder's, and it's fucking cool. I don't know if anybody could actually break down this book and give it justice, because it just keeps getting better and better. For every question we get an answer to a different question, so it's been very well balanced. Right on. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think it's definitely, there's no thinking about it, it's definitely my favorite Snyder work by far.
Cool. And
Jock's art suits this Dark Till very well. I also heard a teaser that Batman Who Laughs will actually be getting an ongoing eventually. So it makes me speculate how this book ends. But yeah, there's so much good shit. I left out a bunch of shit as well. Like I said, you guys got to read it yourself. It's no fun if I tell you everything. I just want to tell you the shit that excites us.
Yeah,
that's what we talk about, man.
You recommend it, is all you're saying.
Yeah. Do you have any other DC books?
I read Electric Warriors, but again, it's such a weird story. I just can't do it justice.
Electric Warrior. Yeah. No, it's just one of those you just got to enjoy. I think it's more of a visual thing, a nostalgic thing. You got to be a Jack Kirby, appreciator. Thank you. That's the word.
See, I know nothing about the world, so I just can't do it justice by talking about it. But I did read it. I recommend it if you've been reading it so far. It continues to be just as good as the first issue.
Sweet. I did read the first issue and I enjoyed it. So many books to read every week, I forget sometimes. I don't think I have any more DC books. Should we jump into Marvel?
Let's do it.
Fucking Savage Sword of Conan. I talk so much shit about my dislike for Conan. Jason Aaron's first 3 issues took me by storm. I feel silly for not actually going out and buying the first issue because it sold out fucking immediately. I should know. I'm stupid for not getting on. My favorite writer in the world. How would I have any doubts? Like Brian Michael Bendis took my least favorite character and made me look forward to him every 2 weeks with Superman. Why couldn't Conan be interesting in the hands of Jason Aaron? Totally could. And because of that, I had to give Jerry Duggan a try on Savage Sword of Conan. And along with the art of Ron Garney and Richard... was it Sinox? Isanove. My bad. Richard Isanove. Dude, that's 2 Conan titles I'm subscribed to now.
Heck yeah, they've been good.
I will take you up on the offer to watch old Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan with you now.
Well, at least watch the first one.
I will even go as far as to say I will travel to you to watch it because I am I'm very intrigued with this.
I'm down for a movie night to watch Conan.
Dude.
Hell yeah.
I always thought it was silly and hand-fisted or whatever.
It totally is, but in the best way.
I don't think it is, man. Like, it's barbaric. And that's exactly what it needed to be. I don't find it to be silly. I find it to be as barbaric as...
He's a barbarian, but he's a thief. But he's a king.
Yeah, he's just a fucking badass is what it comes down to. Like, there's... As far as alphas go, it's like Conan, Fall a few stories, James Bond, and then, like, the rest of them. But Conan, he's the ultimate alpha. And I after reading the first 3 issues of Conan the Barbarian, I am now, once again, I'll say it again, subscribed to Savage Sword of Conan.
Hell yes.
So Conan, and this fucking cover by goddamn Alex Ross.
Great cover.
Is it? Because it is. It totally is. It's not just skeletons. It's skeletons and entrails and blood and like you could see the entrails coming out of the skeleton. Like,
oh yeah.
There's no flesh, but there's entrails. That sounds like
why not?
Yeah. Why fucking not? I like that type of shit. Shit that shouldn't make sense. That's the shit that I embrace. And I didn't realize that Conan...
It's visually appealing.
I didn't realize Conan was that type of story.
It is with Jason Aaron at the helm.
Apparently it is with Jerry Duggan as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I always liked Jerry Duggan's Deadpool, so I already know he could do weird. That's part of the reason why I was pushed into this. I was like, this would be fucking weird. So, Conan is lost out at sea, drifts upon a pirate ship, gets taken prisoner, and in the most Conan of fashions, he escapes. How does he escape? He shatters the fucking finger of a guard and uses the shattered bone to pick the lock.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he fucking does. And that was enough for me to go, I could fucking end this book right here. I'm good. But it keeps going. He goes through and he just fucking takes out the ship and fights goddamn Serpent Man. And it ends with him getting in touch with his third eye. I didn't realize...
Yeah, he steals this chest from this cabin.
Yeah, that's what it is. When they get to shore.
These demonic serpent people, and he has another slave who nursed him back to health, chained to him, swam them to shore, and he pulls open the lock, and nothing but sand in there.
Just fucking sand.
Oh, you know what? I think I might have confused this one and Murder Falcon, because they, he played the song and he knew the location of the thing, and then
the map.
And
okay.
then here, he opened the chest and he knows the location of this map.
And then you see like his third eye open,
right,
and all of that.
Might have mixed those two up.
And then we see these two characters. He's going to have to. What does he say? Destined to meet a beautiful mysterious adventure, and cross swords with a powerful enemy. Who's like this half serpent-esque type of sorcerer-looking fella.
This is like fantasy 101, intriguing, demon cult, D&D-esque. Oh man, this is one of my favorite pages this week right here.
Yeah, that's a great fucking page. I'm not gonna lie.
You got the hoard of treasure. You've got this mysterious vixen, and then you've got this demonic cult hooded figure. Like, man,
one might think like Marvel's gone so long without taking on the Conan title. Why would you put out two titles at once? It's not like Jerry Duggan was signed 2 weeks ago after they realized that Conan #2 did well. Like, obviously,
they planned this in advance.
Yeah, for sure. Months and months ago. So that's a lot of faith in Marvel. And then, goddamn, did the fucking dice come up hot? Because I'm subscribed to like they took a character I can't stress enough. I fucking had zero interest in.
Yeah, you talked some serious shit off
I
mic.
did. And
on mic.
Yeah, I'll eat a boot if we get 1,000 fucking patrons tonight. I'll eat a boot for my dislike.
Dang, I need to start a campaign like yesterday.
Totally. Yeah, but the fact is that the Jason Aaron, it's not the same Conan story like doubled up on. We're gonna get different versions of Conan because the Conan story I'm getting now through Aaron's is we get young Conan and old Conan. This Jerry Duggan just seems like fucking Conan the Barbarian in his 30s doing his thing. Because in the last issue, it was 17-year-old Conan using his neck strength to rip down this tree that's...
the hanging tree at Red Hill. Yeah,
the red tree. Yeah, fucking... I don't know.
I'm liking the art. I'm liking like this brooding hero alpha male story, as you put it. Yeah, man. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. And I'm really even more interested to see how he's going to join the Avengers.
Yeah, we're going to get that in the No Road Home story, which actually started this week. We'll get to eventually, but...
Heck yeah.
Dude, I never thought I'd be so excited for Conan the Barbarian. And now two different writers. Originally I was like,
Told you, you gotta read this.
Aaron. It's just Jason Aaron. It's the only reason. It was only Jason Aaron. Nope, I was wrong. Fucking Jerry Duggan does it too. And it's not like, and it's gonna sound terrible. It's not like everything Jerry Duggan does I love. And it's not nearly the love between the two writers are completely different. I don't hate Duggan by any means. I love a lot of his shit, but I love everything that Aaron does. So I just want to say that it doesn't take my favorite writer to make this character. It could just be anyone. And Jerry Duggan's under the radar guy for me.
Me, favorite artist?
No, writer.
Isn't Aaron one of your favorite writers?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. What did I say, artist?
We said it doesn't take your favorite writer.
Well, no, you're right. It doesn't take the favorite, because Jerry Duggan's not my favorite
Gotcha. Right.
Cool. Right. I confused myself for a second there, sorry. I'm so excited. Do you have anything else to say about Conan?
Everybody should read it.
Do you have any input on Conan, Mason? Because I know you're all about the fucking old school nostalgia-ness.
Well, I definitely see like the old school art style that's captured here.
Yeah, we can't say enough good things about this.
No, I definitely can't. Because, a lot of what's great about their style that they're doing is that old school style where not every line has to lead to a closure point. You don't have to have two lines meeting to color in between it. It's like...
faith in the color artist, man.
Well, it's like at one panel you were showing where they're walking down the road and he says, "Come, destiny awaits." And over on the left, there's this tall grass.
All that brush and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, this brush, and what you see is just some hash lines thrown up and then color thrown over it, and it works. And I've seen that in a lot of older comics. And it's just a lot of this, you have the blend between color and line appears a lot. And that was when we started moving out of that pop art era and started moving into the more refined comics. You had this very nice middle ground that resembles what I'm seeing here.
Agreed.
I totally agreed, man. Totally agreed. This doesn't look like a Marvel comic. It doesn't. It looks like creator-owned indie comic, and
I love it.
I like seeing that with the Marvel name on it. It gives me hope that there's growth within these publishers. Everybody's like, these companies are
finding other artists.
This.
Yep.
Well, I'll say one thing about the art. Honestly, tells me like a lot of your panels look very similar to cover art I've seen on other comics.
I know, isn't it awesome when fucking any panel could just be like the cover of another comic? That's fucking steez right there, man. That's true steez. I think my pants have gotten tight enough. Let's move to Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, let's calm me down a bit.
Calm me down just a bit. Number 15, legacy number 816. This is the second part of the Family Matters story. No Urkel cameos, sorry. So fucking Aunt May is in trouble, naturally. Spider-Man's got to save her. He has a choice to make. Save May, save the group. Pretty fucking classic story. The art in this might take you back because it is not Ryan Otley doing the art. It is Chris Bachalo with a whole heap of help. And I'm just going to name off some last names. Livesay, Vey, Foucher, Victor Olazaba, and Townsend, along with Jim Campbell. But the cover by Paulo Rivera, I think, is the best part of this book. It's a pretty fucking dope cover. I don't know, it's a fucking Spider-Man story. There's some Taskmaster and Black Ant and Rhino.
You had me sold at Taskmaster.
Yeah. Yeah, no, did you not read this one?
No, I didn't.
Gotcha. Oddly enough, out of all of the Spider books out there, this one is kind of, I hate saying my least favorite, because it's still great. It's just, this one took it down a peg because I don't feel like it was maybe it's just the lack of Ryan Otley's art. Maybe it's his art that actually is selling this story for me. I don't know, I just haven't been a huge fan of this. I mean, there's a fucking dozen trillion people that's
We've been flooded with Spider-Man.
You can see that's just not like the Spider-Man art you've been. It's great art. It just doesn't.
It is
feel
different.
It doesn't feel like Spider-Man to me. It's just a little. The colors are a little drab, and it's a drab situation. You know, Aunt May's in trouble.
It
Building
almost
falling.
looked like kind of like a filter was put over the color.
It does kind of look like a filter.
Very similar as to, oh god, the only one that comes up. There's several other movies that do it, but the later Matrix movies, when they're in the Matrix and they're in some action scene and there's just a horrible green filter thrown over everything. It just seemed like there's kind of a darkening gray filter thrown over the panels there.
I wouldn't necessarily. I don't want to call it horrible by any means. It's just it's not. To me, Spider-Man should always be bright.
With that, with the tone that is the color tone.
Oh, absolutely.
That is in Spider-Man.
Right. I mean, we even get like an old school flashback panel with what's this fucking this reporter's got some history. Ned Leeds, and he was a former reporter for the Bugle. Well, Parker was photographer, obviously. So he plays a little bit of a part in this. He's or his son actually. But really, what it comes down to, as I know it sounded like I was just shitting on this, but I'm about to hype this motherfucker up right now because the ending is more than satisfying. We get a dude that I personally can't get enough of in Spider-Man's Rogues. And we realize the guy behind all of this, Taskmaster and Black Ant, were sent to capture Rhino.
Oh, okay.
And when you find out why, Kraven is going to hunt Rhino.
Oh, it's going to be like the most dangerous game, but...
Yeah. And also, in New York. So, all of the weirdness or whatever, like I'm not sure how I feel about this. Fucking Nick Spencer was like, oh, I'm gonna like lead you on for a second, but I guarantee I'm gonna get your attention to make you still want to buy issue 16 because I know I've seen the solicitations. We are going to get a fairly decent sized Kraven arc.
Really?
And it looks like here's the setup for it.
You might have just sold me. I might have to start jumping back onto some more Spider-Man.
It's like I said, it's this particular series has been the most up and down, but it's also 15 issues in. All of the other ones, are still fairly new, like the Spider-Gwen and the Miles Morales were finally getting issue 3 next week.
Friendly Neighborhood. I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah, Friendly Neighborhood. So they're all early, or still really young, but
cool. They've
been heavily consistent.
Right.
It's one thing I can't necessarily say about this book, but Nick Spencer isn't known for his consistent writing either. He's known for, I'm going to take you along for a ride, and then I'm going to fucking blow your goddamn mind for a bit.
Oh, okay.
So, it's just his style, man. I totally respect it. I don't expect to love every single comic I pick up, and I'm okay with that. This book is definitely somebody's favorite book, though. Because if you like Taskmaster and Kraven and Rhino and all of that, it's
It sounds like an interesting book. I might have to go back and read this one.
I suggest it, to be honest. I know it sounded like I was saying bad things, but
it just didn't sound like the Brian Wayne book this week.
This wasn't the Spider-Man book that I was hoping for, is all.
Sure.
Especially,
we got so many Spider-Man right now that if you're looking for something specific, you'll probably find it.
Where I think I might have a bit of a bias with this book now is when issue 14 came out. It says in the beginning, this takes place after the events of Miles Morales' Spider-Man number 3, which doesn't come out until this week. So, I don't know.
Think that might be on purpose? Maybe they're going to drop some bombs on us this week?
I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't understand that. I don't know if I was supposed to keep reading issue 14, like regardless of not knowing how issue 3 of Miles Morales ended.
Maybe they're going to be setting it up where Miles and Peter are going to be working against each other for a short period.
It's all speculation at this point, man.
Who knows?
Like I said, it's pure ignorance on my part. But I couldn't go another week without reading an Amazing Spider-Man title. And even though this is the second part of that issue that ties in after Miles... But so far, there's been no signs of this, that I missed something in the Miles Morales thing. Or, like, it ties in... It just...
We'll see.
Aunt May's getting buried under a building is where this starts out, so... I don't know. Like I said, I'm not talking bad about it by any means. It's just not my Spidey book this week.
Fair enough.
Fucking X-Men. Age of Alpha.
Next Gen.
Yeah, man, we got the Next Gen book, so we're getting these five-issue miniseries all tying into the aftermath.
This right here was a Justin Jones book.
This was a Justin Jones book, written by Ed Brisson, Marcus Toe, and Jason Keith. I opted to get all of the connecting variant covers they're doing for all of the issue 1s of the 5-part.
Right.
All done by Inyak Lee. So I've got the second part now, and as you can see, it is just as beautiful. That fucking version of Blob drawn in there by Inyak Lee is so fucking cool, man.
Man, Blob is such a great character. Man, that is a great...
I said Blob, my bad, Glob. It's great. Why don't you talk about this
That might
book?
win me over for cover, man.
Yeah? Well,
yeah, I didn't see that one.
Variants, baby. They're not everyone...
Boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy. Tell us about this book, man. We know...
Well, we get a glob-heavy story. We get him, feeding his chickens, putting them away. This is back in, we're kind of in the same continuous world where everybody's a mutant.
Yeah,
everything has a place.
Everybody has their own place.
We are still at the at A school. We are at the Summers Institute for Higher Learning.
Yes.
We got all these different mutants going through their classes. They're studying. They're doing stuff. We get a little bit of some stuff between Glob with some fan fiction, which tells us the uncanny story, but it's just fan fiction in this world. And then we got Noel.
Chickens, man. What's up with these chickens? What do you? I was when I read this book, the first thing that came to mind was I'm gonna ask Justin about Glob's chickens. I want to get Justin's input on Glob's chickens because you're the biggest Glob fan I know.
I fucking love Glob. He's my favorite X-Man.
Yeah?
I think so. I mean,
that's a fucking huge
he's not
statement,
like the biggest, best, but man, he's fun. I instantly enjoy a story that interacts with Glob.
I respect that fucking take on a favorite X-Men.
Yeah, I mean,
Glob. Who would have fucking thought?
Yeah, I don't know. He's just fun. But these chickens are just he named them after Scott, Logan, and Hope.
Yep.
After dead X-Men.
Yep.
So which shows
legendary dead X-Men.
Which in this little alternative reality, apparently those ones are all dead.
Yep. Yeah, because we know for a fact that Scott and Logan are on Earth.
Right.
Because we all read Uncanny number 11. Because we all spent $8 on that fucking book. So we had to know.
Are we going to be getting Hope then?
Where's Hope? I don't know. Hope wasn't the blindfolded one, was she?
No, it's blindfold.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
Is her name Hope?
I don't know. Who the fuck is Hope? I don't know. We'll think of it once we hit off on the podcast, I'm sure. I know Hope is somebody. You keep talking about that, and I'll give you an answer. How's that?
Well, we get a little montage to the different classes. We see all these different historic X-Men teaching different things. And
pretty much giving a take on the X-Men Academy, as it should be. Yeah, I remember when Age of X-Man left off, we got that little extremely humorous closer up of Glob.
Yep.
And what's on Glob's mind, and you just see his eyeballs.
Yeah.
What the fuck is on Glob's mind in this book, man?
Well, it seems like he knows what actually happened, and he's not alone. We have a Noel, who also seems to know a lot of what's going on. But anyway, we cut to them having different classes, and there's a fire. Well, I think it's Psylocke and Pixie run off. Or no, it's Armor and Pixie run off, because they're going to help. They've been training for this. They're civil management students, which apparently is like the superheroes of this world, I guess.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's the X-Men of...
Yeah, so we have Bling being held down by Blob.
Hold on, Bling?
Bling.
Like Bling Bling?
Like Bling Blang. Yeah, that's the kid's name, Bling.
Oh shit, okay, I must have missed that, sorry. I totally read this book, I promise,
We have him being held down. Apparently, Blob is mentioning that they don't want to have to erase their memory again. This is the second time. You don't want a third, do you? Do you know what happens on the third time? And we're just left with, leave it to your imagination. Well, apparently he wasn't the only one there. Noel was also there, and he's begging him, please, I can't do this. It can't happen again. They can't see me. Not again. Don't tell him I'm here. And he disappears. Well, then we have Glob. And Armor runs to Glob. She's like, I can't do this. Everything's going down. I don't know what's going on. I should have told somebody. Why didn't I tell somebody? And Glob picks up a candle, ignites it, and lights himself on fire. And he starts reaching for Armor.
Yeah.
And says, I need to show you. I should have shown you a long time ago. This is the only way. And next issue, to be continued.
He looks evil as fuck there too, man. Like, he looks like he's got some fucking bad shit on his mind.
Well, I mean,
Let me see that panel again.
It's Glob. If they're able to give him different ranges of motion without any muscular structure or eyebrows or anything like that, that's good fucking art. That's good writing.
No, I agree 1,000%. I just don't know what to take out of his intentions the way he's drawn on that last panel.
Well, I'm sure. No, it's Glob. It's Glob.
I would like
He's
to think
not gonna hurt Armor. I think that he
not.
is going to somehow disrupt this mind control threat. I don't know, because I mean, but does this take place in the last issue we read with the X-Men group? Because even in that world, we had X-Man himself was also seeming to be controlled under the same mind control. So, like, well, what's going on here?
I don't know, man. There's definitely some things to be answered. It doesn't help that we've got different writers on all of these.
Because in the Uncanny verse, we've got no X-Men. We've got no mutants. They're
very
eradicating them.
Very, very few. And the
Right.
ones that are
Everybody's
out there
getting vaccinated, and the few are being hunted down. And in this world, it's all mutants.
It's only
Everybody
mutants.
has superpowers.
But at the same time, it's like a very regulated world. The love and emotion isn't a thing. There's no intimacy really involved, seemingly. Like, it's been heavily hinted at, but not necessarily.
Right.
Whatever. And we're going to get more of that in I think the Prisoner X or whatever miniseries that one's going to be.
Could be.
But, yeah, no, it's, there's definitely some questions that need to be answered, but I have faith they will be. I don't think we're looking at any dangling plot holes or anything like that. I think it makes for interesting storytelling. It makes me...
Yeah.
Originally, I was just going to buy the first issue of all these, but now I want to know what the fuck these 5 books are about.
I have to know what's going on.
Or at least out of 2 of them. Like, what was the last one we did? I forgot what last week's was. It was Marvelous X-Men.
Marvelous, right.
And that was totally on board for that. Like, I think any team that Colossus is on, naturally I'm going to subscribe to.
Fair.
But, yeah, no, this one, I didn't expect to like it, to be honest, because I thought it was going to be like, oh, Glob's going to take in that mutant that we saw in fucking Age of Out. Remember, that's when we got, like, she's getting the tour or whatever.
Right.
And then you see the super duper
Close up, yeah.
I'm going to keep reiterating that. You go back and read that, because if you don't laugh out of that, you might not have a soul, so get yourself checked. Fucking speaking of mutants, We're ready to move along, right?
Yeah. Old Man Logan.
Dead Man Logan, to be more precise.
Fair.
More Ed Brisson. I didn't do that on purpose. Mike Henderson and Nolan Woodard, covered by Declan Shalvey, as it should be. I'm liking how they're staying true to all of the cover schemes. Cover schemes. I wanted to say color so hard right there. It just
color
seemed like,
scheme, yeah. I mean, it just flows.
These books are becoming more and more sensical. I feel like the first issue and a half was very, here's a whole bunch of mystery you're gonna have to worry about for 12 months, but it's very much leveled out into, we get a cool, you get almost a complete story every issue.
We're wrapping back around. We've got Logan, who's dying off of his adamantine poisoning and the Regenix poisoning.
Yeah, and we've got Jubilee and Glob watching over all of that. Meanwhile, we've got Hawkeye. He gets visited by Mysterio. Because we know that Mysterio is the one that was responsible for making, or I'm not going to think of the right word on cue.
He was responsible for making Logan
perceives the word I'm thinking of. The Avengers to be evil, Sinister Six, which is Logan's biggest fear on account of. I mean, yeah, we've read the story, we know about the story. So, anyways, Mysterio realizes that Sin and the Sinister have bad motives for him once he's done, because he disguised himself in the last issue.
They showed that they were planning on killing him after they've used him.
He goes to fucking Hawkeye for help. Yeah. Who goes to fucking Hawkeye for help? I would. Hawkeye's fucking dope.
Yeah, he's the one without superpowers, so maybe you have a chance to get your speech out before he kills you.
No, you know what? That's a good point. But in all fairness, Hawkeye had an arrow ready for him before he even came in. Like, he dropped the hot coffee pot and before Mysterio
had an arrow drawn.
Yep. So we do actually get a very cool moment where Mysterio's like, dude, check it out. Like, I'm not behind all this. I'm kind of being forced to do all this. I'm here to help you. I do not want to be Logan's a motherfucker. I don't want to fight Logan. Who wants to fight fucking Logan? So
I just want to live in the insane asylum and waste away the rest of my days.
Right. And meanwhile, so he goes to Hawkeye to be like, go tell Logan that I'm cool. He's like, you're coming with me. He's like, I don't think that's a good idea. He's like, I'll disguise myself. I love a humorous, serious comic book because we get all the types of people that he's trying to disguise himself as, and they're all just like the worst fucking
they're
ideas.
Dead. He's dead too. Yeah, he also dead. Yeah, still dead.
Yeah, and fucking Professor Xavier and Cyclops and Cable. And he's like, he's
settles on Jubilee, right?
Yeah, then he settles on, and that's what sets him off because Jubilee's there fucking watching him.
Right, like, yeah, fine, we'll just go with it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't want to give away anything. I just want to once again reiterate that this story caught my interest heavily. So every issue so far, I've said best issue so far. I mean, to do that four issues in a row.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this Dead Man Logan. Yeah, I'm kind of sad that I only read the very beginning of Dead Man Logan, and then I read the very end. I need to go back and read the rest.
Old Man Logan?
Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
Right. Did I say Dead Man?
Yeah, you said.
I'm mixing them up.
Dude, and that fucking cover tease for issue 5 is fucking dope because you got the Bone Claw and Adamantium Claw skeleton and Sin and Miss Sinister in there, and there's just so many cool things to like about this book. I wasn't sure how much I would like it, but I've been swayed every week more and more. I look forward to Dead Man Logan, and
definitely
we're a third of the way through now. Punisher.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. Last year's book of the year for me, and I think it's still
good. Who did it?
Matthew Rosenberg, Simon Kradansky, and I'm looking at notes that it's not even the right page. I'm looking. Apparently, I have this memorized. And Antonio Fabella, which I went as so bold as to exclaim socially that it is the greatest creative combination team I think I've ever read. Now that we've gone 8 issues straight, and in no way has there been any drop-off.
This is your story, huh?
Well, I didn't think Punisher would be my story, but goddamn, I just like violent and gritty and not typical heroism sometimes, but I like it under a Marvel label as well.
Fair.
So, and I'm getting it here. We're getting more of the War on Bagalia Part 3.
We're getting Prison Break.
And really what we're getting here is Frank and Sister Mercy are going through, and it's a whole 20 pages of montage of them getting ready to set up the prison for them to be broken out of or taken over.
Yep.
And did you read it?
I did.
Sweet.
Yeah, we got Frank, giving them, okay, step one, we gotta do this, then this, then this, and it's just their ragtag group throughout the prison making it work.
My words exactly. Total. Frank's like, are you kidding me? These fucking guys?
Yeah, we got a comic artist for the local paper. Yeah.
And he does it like he like sets up, he breaks the sewage pipe over the guards' locker room, and they're like, "Oh, cool, it's raining."
And then they pump all that gasoline through the water lines and catch them on fire. And I mean, it is gritty Frank Castle at its best.
I know I only spent like 2.5 minutes on this book, but this has always been a visual book. Like Kudansky and Antonio Fabella tell Matthew Rosenberg's beats so well to you. It's not like Punisher needs a whole lot of fucking dialogue, anyways.
I mean, we can tell you exactly everything that this crew did, but we wouldn't be doing it justice. Read the comic.
It's fun, and this one isn't nearly as gory either. It's more showing not necessarily
the
Frank's
intellectual
brutal
side,
but yes, the planning side, the ability to get out of any fucking situation type of side, which is,
how he does what he does so brilliantly.
That's what makes him a regular ass person, being able to survive against all of these fucking inhumans and everybody that he's faced throughout
criminal organizations,
exactly.
Countries. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Well, shit. There's I don't know, like I said, there's so much good shit to talk about with Punisher.
Yeah, it's been a great run. I'm really enjoying this World War Frank series.
Oh, it's so good. So good. But there's even more greatness that happened this week. Fucking Thor! Goddamn, we're getting another one of Jason Aaron's, I'm gonna go ahead and call it like a side story one-shot. Like, we got the one that I keep calling like the end of Marvel issue.
It seems to be what a lot of these have been. Like, they kind of relate to a sense. We've got Thor searching for his hammer, but we've got a lot of these like one-shot stories.
Right.
Just deepening the Thor-verse.
And deepening is a great word, because there's no other... I don't think there's a better word to describe this book than deep. Because this is a...
Brilliant?
Brilliant. It's brilliantly deep, but I think deep is the core word here, because I think there's a good portion of people out there that could really relate to
Odin?
Well, to Odin, or even Thor having an Odin type of all-father figure.
Sure.
Like how I did that all-father figure.
Yeah, I get that.
But so this is diving into the world of alcoholism, is pretty much what it's doing.
Yeah, sure.
It's
heavily
about alcoholism. Odin is pretty much just a fucking emotional mess.
Sitting in the tattered remnants of his realm.
Yes.
What's left of Asgard.
Right. Thor comes through looking for his hammer making... is it dwarf? I was gonna say
Screwbeard.
Screwbeard, yeah. And Odin... I forget what Odin does with them, but
he taught them how to drink, and they are all passed out, just all wasted face.
Right. And then, so at this point... Thor's like,
but hold on, son. I made you a hammer. Whack!
Right. It's...
While he's having this internal dialogue of, I love this boy.
Yeah. And I think that's, as confusing as that may sound, being someone personally that has had such close proximity to several people in my life that have had to deal with alcoholism, this, as random as that might seem, that's very fucking true behavior to an unstable person that has terrible fucking affliction. So there's just, Del Mundo does such a good job with the art showing the emotion in Odin's face, and there doesn't, honestly, I really think, as good as the dialogue is in this, I think this book can be told silent. Like, the letterer could have taken a week off just because of how well the beats were written for the artist. I don't think I need anything here.
I don't know. I think...
Well, except for the part with the troll and Loki's part.
Oh, yeah, where Loki
fucking...
turns this other troll or other giant's son into a frog. And, who is it? Who's the king of the Jotun again?
The fucking Laughley.
Laughley, right. So King Lawfully is like, well, why would you do this? Why would you sully my good name? Like doing this? Well, I was doing it to protect your name, Father. He was making fun of me, and therefore making fun of you, making fun of the throne. So I did it to protect you.
And Laufey, in the most OG way, is like, oh shit, okay, kill him then.
But instead of using your, Asgardian magic, be a man, be a real Jotun, and kill him.
Yep.
And Loki says, well, of course I won't do that. And Laufey just smashes it.
Smash it a frog.
Says, no, you're banished from here. Be gone. You are a stain on this throne.
More heavy father figure fucking...
But we do see Loki run into Malekith. Malekith before he walks off. And, the Dark Elf has some dark intents on our Loki friend.
Goddamn right. Well, he's got some dark intents on everything on account of he's taken out the 10 realms and he's about to come invade Midgard here soon.
Yep.
So I think this is we finally get to see some Malekith. We get the big fucking teaser on the cover, and we have been for 2 months now. It started out War of the Realms coming in 3 months, and now we get War of the Realms coming in 2 months. And we get to see some fucking Malekith.
And we got a lot of cool events ramping up towards this. This is getting a little exciting.
Oh, dude, I've been exciting from the get-go. As soon as they compared it to the Secret Wars, I already subscribed to every single tie-on, mini-event, everything. And there's going to be a shit ton. Like, it's not going to be as heavy as the Civil War 2 event was, where there's 10,000 different...
yeah.
Right. Which I am proud to say I actually did track down every single one of them somehow. But the War of the Realms it's just going to be so fucking Marvel-shattering. I'm gonna trademark Marvel shattering. It's gonna upturn this whole fucking universe. I think we're gonna get New 52'd. There's all of the solicitations have been so fucking crazy. Like, we know that Daredevil's gonna get a sword and cosmic powers, and then we've been teased that Captain America is gonna get he gets an axe, and who is it that gets a fucking hammer, and Spider-Man gets a dope ass shield. Everybody's gonna be Asgardianized is the word I'm gonna go with.
Sweet.
All of them.
They're all gonna get their own personal Mjolnir.
A variant cover line and everything. I know a lot of people cringe at Marvel events because they just shove them down our throats, but they've done a good job.
There are a lot of them.
Well, they've done a good job at like healing off lately though, because it is 15 fucking events a year. Like there's weeks where you're collecting 4 different fucking tie-ins to an event.
It goes deep.
It's leveled off now, and not only is it leveled off, all of the events I find to be interesting. Like we've been pounded with X-Men, and not just pounded with a bunch of books, but pounded with expensive books too. Like twice in 11 issues, we've had $8 price tags on Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah,
but they're making it worth their while.
They have been good. They have been good.
I mean, I would hate to consider the X-Men coming back an event, but it almost feels as big as an event, especially now that they have like the Age of X-Men like 25 book minis, or
exactly.
all of that stuff.
Yep.
If it wasn't for that, I'd just say our Uncannies are back. But I admire the way that they're telling the story, because they're still making it interesting, and I think that's where Marvel lacked before. Is they're like, here's a whole bunch of shit, we just want to sell books, and they didn't really care about quality as much. I just feel like there's been a huge spike in quality with Marvel. And I just want to give a shout out to all the people that may be listening to the naysayers that stopped reading a couple years ago and just have it in their head that Marvel went downhill. Dude, these last 18 months...
I mean, these creators are constantly growing and evolving and changing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, if you don't like something one year or 1 week, it's not forever. It will change. Like, if you don't like the current run of Captain America... maybe catch the next run. It will be different.
And at this point, you could pretty much count that there will be a new volume within a couple of years.
Oh,
and
of course.
If you have to wait a couple of years, you'll probably get to see Captain America star in some sort of series or whatever. Like, Marvel's become very meticulous as the dosage of characters.
They love their icons. They love their properties.
Like right now, I feel like it's the year of Hulk. Like, Hulk is their guy. Let's focus on Hulk. We got Hulk Vereen's coming out. We got Weapon H that came out soon. Immortal Hulk is the most hyped up book. Look, I just want to mention that Immortal Hulk, if you have been collecting Immortal Hulk, y'all just made a bunch of money, because on eBay that entire series has skyrocketed. And speaking of Immortal Hulk, fucking I gave away issue number 12, remember that?
Yeah.
He did get his book.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so fucking his name Doug, that was his name. He got his book confirmed. More than happy, and especially since the value of it has doubled since it's been in the mail. like to hook you guys up. Fucking, but the fact is that Immortal Hulk has been a good investment.
Yeah, it's been such a great read too.
Oh, well, beyond that, yeah. But yeah, that was a little bit of a financial speculation talk. Let's throw back into our overview and talk more a little bit about the Hulk, but a part of a new Avengers team. We've got Avengers No Road Home.
No Road Home!
Number 1, it is tying into the legacy numbering at 708. So I like how they're doing that. This is
a cool team.
A 10-part. Did it live up to the hype that I told you? Wait till last to read this?
Oh, yeah, good. Definitely.
Good. I'm glad I waited till last too. It is a 10-part miniseries. It's going to heavily articulate the setup to War of the Realms.
Cool.
Particularly like the last 4 issues of this. But in the meantime, we get a fucking cool new Avengers team that ain't none of y'all motherfuckers have seen before. I'm gonna give a shout out to the creative team real quick. We got a trio of amazing writers with Mark Waid, Al Ewing, and Jim Zub. And the artistic team did not disappoint. We've got Paco Medina, Juan Vlaxco, and Jesus Arbatov. And this is another series that's doing connecting variants. So I decided to opt for all of the cover Bs for this. These variants are done by Mark Brooks, so this cover you see here is not the actual cover. And I'm not talking to you podcast listeners, I'm talking to Justin, because y'all can't see this shit. Well, if you watch YouTube, you probably realize that, yeah. So anyways, do you want to talk about this book a little bit? How aware are you of all these characters? Like, we got fucking Hercules in action. Last time we saw Hercules was in the Civil War II, and he wasn't so liked. As a matter of fact, he was shunned away. They're like, dude, of all this shit, we don't want your help. All of a sudden, fucking, that's not the vibe we get out of this Hercules, is it?
No, he's still a hero doing his heroic things.
And he's sober. That's the difference between this Hercules and the Civil War II. He was a fucking mess.
Oh.
So he's got his shit together now. He's out helping the police with hardware robberies and whatnot. And
an alien attack.
But it ain't no alien. It's motherfucking Rocket.
Rocket's pretty alien.
Well, is he? Yeah, I guess.
He's a raccoon, but...
No, that's true.
He's from
that's true.
Outer galaxy, and he's sentient.
Yeah. But he's a dog in this one. I like how Rocket's always the guy to get shit out. And this one, they just refer to him as get your dog out of here.
Trash panda, rodent, dog. Yeah. Man, guy can never catch a break.
Yep. Sweet Rabbit was my favorite one. But so yeah, no, he's in here, but his intentions are
misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Thank you. That's why we're hosts. You finished my war. There we go. Fucking A.
Instances.
Oh, that's great. So yeah, Hercules is holding up fucking raccoon, and you get I didn't do it. Meanwhile, we transfer over to all of these dynamics are so cool.
We're on the West Coast. We're in California.
We are in California, and who resides in who is the coolest person in California right now?
Chavez America.
No, that would be Hawkeye. Hawkeye! And what are Hawkeye's intentions here? He's trying to get Wanda to join the West Coast Avengers.
Yep. Talking Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, man. But then the city goes dark.
Yep.
And that becomes...
Cuts to black.
That becomes the trend throughout the rest of the book in all of these meetings. It's the shit goes down is going down cue. So we got our first shit's going dark.
We've got Vision
and Spectrum communicating with... Oh, I'm so glad Blue Marvel is a fucking thing, dude. Most powerful person in the MCU, I believe. I think he's more powerful than Captain Marvel. But
about Squirrel Girl.
No, he's got the brains. He's also one of the smartest as well, and that's something Squirrel Girl doesn't have. So, yeah, no, Squirrel Girl is, guilty pleasure.
OP.
Yeah, I'd marry her in a heartbeat though, teeth and all. Fucking
love that tail action.
God damn, I love that tail action. But anyways, sorry. I'm so sorry, listeners. We get Vision and Spectrum communicating with Blue Marvel and Tony Ho, who's another scientist, Brain. And it seems like their mission is to figure out how to keep Vision, for lack of better words, from dying.
Yeah, something's killing him slowly.
He's fading out. His program is His words. So, yeah. Anyways, the Hulk's a thing.
Banner. We got Bruce Banner too.
Banner's walking a lonely road of no dreams.
Somewhere in New Mexico.
And then it goes dark. And you know what happens when it goes dark?
The Hulk emerges.
Because the Hulk is nighttime. I have a feeling Al Ewing's writing this part on account of... I'm so glad. I don't know if you just heard my excitement hiss there. And then, but why is Hulk the only person alone? He ain't. Voyager shows up. Voyager, I don't know a whole lot about. Not gonna lie.
I know nothing, really.
I feel like she's rather new, but at the same time, like, a very important... She was an important part to an arc that I missed or something. I don't know. I know nothing about her. If you guys know, let us know. Either way, I'm gonna look her up when we're done, because I gotta know. But anyways, we get, her pretty much saying we need to assemble. Is that what you're getting out of this? We're getting her trying to assemble this team. And at this point we get the assemble montage where they go through, and my favorite it's cool, fucking they show up to Wanda and Hawkeye and they get them from the diner, and it's pretty standard. My favorite well, no, I take that back. That's not standard. I think this is the first time we see Hawkeye and Bruce together in a panel, and you might be wondering why that's important, because you didn't read Civil War 2.
Nope.
Hawkeye was actually the catalyst for shit going down in Civil War 2 because of all the craziness happening. The straw that broke the camel's back was Hawkeye killing Bruce Banner with an arrow that Banner...
I did get that, because they do allude to that in this comic,
Exactly.
Like you put an arrow between Bruce Banner's eyes because he asked you to.
Exactly. So this is the first time we see them together since. And it's, at first, Hulk's like, nah, dog, not this guy. And he's like, wait a second, you know what?
Come along. Just don't get caught alone with me.
Fucking hang out together for a little bit, be cool. So apparently Hulk doesn't like what Banner told...
I'm sorry. Can what was that?
No, that's how Hulk talks now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
My B.
Yeah, no, totally. I actually do enjoy the fact that Hulk is articulate now. I do like that Ewing made him articulate since he became the Immortal Hulk.
Not just Hulk smash.
Yeah, now we get that out of She-Hulk, and that's all the whatever we need. But yeah, no, I did find that cool. But anyways, fucking Hawkeye's like, yeah, fuck the West Coast Avengers. I'm gonna hang out with Wanda. Let's do it. I really think those are his motives. Yeah. You're right, and we'll get to that in a second. But first, we got to get to it is my favorite. Come hither and be a non-Avenger, and that's when you see them show up to get Hercules, who is still holding Rocket Raccoon by his
scruff of his neck. The
scruff of his neck. And yeah, so after some convincing, they go, and then Rocket jumps out, and then Hulk grabs him back in.
Pulls him in.
Yeah, dude, I like that they could throw some humor in this. I really do, because this doesn't... All these characters seem like it would be funny, but the story weight seems like there shouldn't be anything funny about it, but we're still getting it.
Yeah, this could be a really fun dynamic.
I actually think I'm just going to go out on a limb and assume that Al Ewing wrote the part with the Hulk and the meeting with Hawkeye and all of that.
It felt very much his style and what he's been writing.
But at the same time, it's not what he writes, because he doesn't write humorous stuff. Like, he's writing horror.
I think this is just a lighter story that he's able to open up those.
And that's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
That he shows versatility in his steez. Yeah. Like, he's not, I just write crazy mind-bending horror Hulk story. No. Right. He's like, I write the Hulk who remembers some canon that knows how to create a funny scene. And
he's able to write a well-rounded Hulk.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
That's not where this book ends, though. They go to Olympus. They
right.
show all the dead gods. He sees
Athena
crushed underneath a pillar, and
he goes to help her. And
and Hercules is devastated. Was this by? No, you can't speak her name.
Right,
but Scarlet Witch says the name.
Yeah, she in total
the dark
casualness
lady,
too.
Nyx.
And so here's what I enjoyed about this is you get the whole like she who must not be spoken of, whatever.
Right.
And then the next panel, Scarlet Witch is like, oh, blah blah blah, Nyx did this, and then you're like, wait, nothing happened.
She was
and then
right.
they turn the page, and fucking shit happens because that goddamn bitch shows up, and it looks like...
And her hand is in Scarlet Witch's face. Just
through her eye holes, and she made a new couple holes in her face beyond that. Coming from the back of the head, levitating her... Oh, maybe she's not levitating, I can't tell. They went...
It don't look good. It don't look good for Scarlet Witch at all.
It doesn't, and... God damn, I didn't... Like, I thought this would be... I'm not gonna lie, I really thought this would be like a hand-fisted event. Like, let's
campy story.
Right. Well, not necessarily campy, but just like a financial push, if you will, by Marvel. Like, oh, we got this big event we've been hyping up. Maybe if we just throw out like a 10-issue miniseries and we get fucking $40 out of these people in, 10 weeks. It's whatever. No. They can have my $40. This is... I'm fully on board with No Road Home. I missed out on the last 10-part miniseries they did, which was No Surrender, and that was actually when we got the actual first appearance of Immortal Hulk coming back from the dead.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't read that.
I missed it. It was right before I decided to jump back on a pull list again. So, and there was another book, besides I'm going to go back to the financial gain that all y'all Immortal Hulk collectors have just accumulated. I decided I'm not going to sell mine. Mason and I had a talk, and I'm not selling my Immortal comic, or Immortal Hulk.
I think that would ever be in the question for you. You've always been more of the collector for personal collection.
I really am, but the financial gain to be had right now is awfully tempting.
Is it really?
It really is. I could say a number now, and it won't be the same when I listen to it, but let's just... If you've got the run, you've made at least $100. Let's put it that way. There's no doubt about that. So it just kind of goes more of my point of collecting comics is there is actually gain to this. Like, this is...
If you collect the right ones.
And it's... Yeah, and even... I don't want to say the right ones necessarily, because there's really no wrong comic.
Yeah, but you never know which ones are going to go up in value.
Right. You are right there. I just had to reiterate, there is no wrong comic.
Sure.
If you enjoy it, if it's a $1 bin book, it's a
buy
great
it because you
want
want to read it and you enjoy it. Now, if you happen to be able to make money on the side with it, more power to you.
Yeah. But for all of the flippers out there, because we originally did mention in the first few episodes that we will try to reiterate any type of financial speculation.
Speculation, right. Yeah,
so, Immortal Hulk is clearly the one. You have any more Marvel books you want to talk about?
Nope. Well, no, I did read Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Oh, fuck yeah! Alright, tell me about Winter Soldier, man.
Winter Soldier, we've got Kyle Higgins, Rod Reeves, and Clayton Cowles. So we start off with Bucky and Tony Stark. Tony's working on Bucky's arm again.
Oh, shit.
Second time in 2 days. We've got a little bit of interaction between him, Bucky, and RJ. We have RJ going through some therapy. And his therapist is telling Bucky, yeah, he's putting up a bunch of barriers. He was just betrayed by the man who trained him. He's going to look for any inconsistencies, for anything that's false. He's going to try to expose you for who you really are. He doesn't know if he can trust you. And then they have a little bit of a talk, like, well, how about you? Are you still doing your diary? Bucky says, yeah, to be fair, I'm having a hard time being honest, even though I know I'm the only one that's going to read it. Well, RJ hears this and goes and reads his diary. We've got them, they're out, and Bucky's asking him, well, what, do you want pizza? Do you want hamburgers? How about ice cream? There's got to be something you want. Then he gets a call. One of the men, because as the story is, that Bucky is helping ex-villains or people who want to change their past hide and start over. And, one of the men knows he's being followed. He worked on surveillance for years. He knows that he was being followed. And RJ notices something and says, hey, there's something strange on the tree line. And then all these spots start appearing. And
the fucking spot.
The spot shows up.
Look at the fucking spot, man.
Yeah. And the spot is kicking ass. He destroys Bucky's arm. RJ is told to take this other guy and run. So RJ puts him in a truck and tells him to drive. And he comes back. Bucky has been pulled into Spot's dimension and is just getting wailed on.
Holy shit, dude. That's fucking dope.
Yeah. But RJ ran to the motorcycle and grabbed a spare arm that Tony Stark had made and brings it back to him. And Bucky's able to beat up the Spot, and they have him tied up, and they're going to have him arrested. But they're having a little heart to heart, and Bucky says, I'm being honest with you. This is a chance to change. And RJ's like, no, you're not being honest with me. You're saying that I have a chance to be over. You're saying life has a chance to be perfect. You're saying that I will find happiness. And Bucky says, I never promised that. He's like, no, but you are. But I've read in your diary, you still have nightmares. You still don't think you're redeemed for what you did. And Bucky's just telling him, look, I do what I do because I feel like when I'm helping other people, I'm able to finally feel like maybe I have redeemed myself. Maybe I am able to redeem the bad things I've done. And that was kind of the moment that they need.
Right on.
And him and RJ kind of have this little moment. And, things are going to be great. But they get home, and Bucky says, hey, come out. Don't make me come after you. And this guy comes out and says, hey, I just wanted to see you.
Around the house,
and
is what it is?
RJ, is that you? Who are you? I'm RJ's dad. Dun, dun, dun.
So you just got some
Next
creeper
issue.
lurking around the house, and... Okay, gotcha.
I mean, it's definitely probably not RJ's
They never are.
dad, because he remembers a little bit about his mom, who died when he was 5, but he doesn't remember anything about his dad.
Gotcha.
So how would his dad recognize him or know him? This is probably a Hydra shenanigans, maybe.
Do you think one more issue is enough to wrap this up? Because it's only going for it concludes the next issue. Do you think it's enough to wrap this up proper? Or do you think it's going to have to be a heavy issue? Or do you think it's going to be rushed? I mean, you've been reading it all the
I
way
don't
through.
know where they're going with this. I mean, are they going to have RJ put the life of a mercenary away and go live happily ever after with his dad? I think that'd be unsatisfying. Is this really going to be RJ's dad or Hydra? Are they going to kill RJ? I don't know. Well, we will see. I will leave it up to the brilliant team to decide.
For sure. Well, last issue coming up soon.
Yeah.
Right on, man. It's all I think we really have to talk about. We do got to give some honorable mentions, though. I gave Spider-Gwen a read. I just can't think of really anything to talk about other than the fact that she's in a band called the Mary Janes, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Cool.
I mentioned that I'm reading the uncovered, unproduced screenplay of Alien 3, but I already told you I'm waiting until it's all complete. I'm going to watch Alien 3 and then read this and compare. So we're on issue 4 of that now. Image put out Oblivion Song number 12. I've been going back and forth on whether or not there's things to talk about. I'm not going to lie, I was a little confused with this one.
Okay.
But overall, I mean, it was fine. It's just, I don't know what to talk about, is all.
I feel the same way about Titans. Of course, I'm still reading that one, but I'm just going to trip all over my words explaining it all. But it was great. The art was good. The storyline seems to be pretty dope so far. So, yeah, check it out.
Okay, there was definitely a lot of stuff we read, guys. Along with that, we also read beyond all of the big boys. We apparently have adopted the notion to want to review indie comics, and
Well, that's true.
you're very right about that. I'm actually flattered that so many people have hit us up.
Yeah, somebody's
And,
talking about us, and hey, it's getting our name around. It's getting
Yeah.
people to send us their comics and review them.
Right, but beyond just getting our name around, I think the whole purpose for us isn't for us. It's
No.
to expand and grow.
To share brilliant creators.
Right, and just because they're not under a huge label doesn't mean they suck. And
Even more why we want to blow the horn for them.
Right, and we're gonna do that again this week.
Yeah, we've got Venus Rising, issue 2, Venus Rises, issue
Yes.
2 that they sent us. This one is Exordium. It's written by J.G. Birdsall. A lot of the art was by James Newell, and we had various color artists. We've got James Newell, Wilson Go, Carolyn Nolasco, and they even mentioned their flats artist, Moncio.
Yes. Yeah, man. I enjoy this creative team. So why don't you give us a rundown of what we're looking at here? We got a space opera of sorts, or at least I wouldn't call it an opera as so much.
Space drama.
Space drama. There we go.
I mean, this screams a Justin book. I love sci-fi, and the art on this is so detailed and brilliantly rendered and colored. This was right up my alley. Again, this is number 2. So I'm a little lost on who these people are and what the parts they play, but my interest is piqued. We've got this lady on a space station or space barge. They seem to have some kind of malfunction on board, and they're docking at a space station. And then we cut to Mars, and Mars has an explosion. I guess I should preface this. I didn't really realize this until I got to the very end of the comic, because at the very end of the comic they say that there was a travesty or something happened on Earth, and the few people who survived fled Earth, and they went to colonize Mars and Venus.
Yeah.
Which, in issue 1, it might have been at the top, but I didn't know that until I got to the very end.
Right.
But yeah, so we got that. And we go to like an emergency control center, and they're trying to deal with the explosions that are going on Mars, and the oxygen levels are falling, and there's, you know, critical failure about to happen. And we've got these soldiers who are trying to, you know, keep the peace and help people. And then we got this bad bitch who takes down 2 of their officers and steals one of their trucks.
Yeah, we get like a vehicle heist scene.
Yeah.
It is a pretty cool, exciting chase scene.
Yeah, we've kind of got 3 storylines going on 2 different timelines or 2 different aspects. And we've got the people up in the space station, and then we've got the people on Mars.
Right. Right, and like, you're gonna have to forgive us because we don't totally know what's going on here, as far as the story goes. But from what we've read, I mean, it's definitely intriguing. There's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of weight going on here. And I like weight early on because it
Definitely.
yeah.
There's something going on. I'm interested. I need to go and find issue 1 once it drops. I think it comes out on tomorrow, right? The 19th.
No, they're Indiegogo.
Oh, their Indiegogo
Their
start.
Indiegogo kicks off, and we'll give you all the information on that too. So these, I mean, we're all about making sure these guys get out, because I think this is a comic that...
Yeah, we'll definitely post it in the description or video.
Oh yeah. But this is a comic that a bunch of people are going to enjoy. Whether you're a space reader or you're a lover of old school style art, because I think that's the most eye-popping thing about this. Not to take away from the story at all, but the art style chosen for this reminds me very much of like the 70s.
Definitely, but I really like this. Like, a lot of this has that like watercolor-esque aspect to it, and I just love it. That layers of color on color.
Right, it doesn't look like it's digitally done. It really doesn't. The color at points, I will say, does throw me off at times, because I feel like there are a couple of points where
she's wearing brown and has brown hair, but
right.
then in the car later on it's purple, but I think it's more of the dark. But then later on she's got like this reddish hair. And
I totally agree with your defense there, but at the same time, it's being that it's a new comic and nobody knows who these people are. I feel like all of these characters need to have some sort of defining visual aspect to them, to where you could tell at any point in time who's
glance,
talking.
you know who it is.
There are a couple of points in times where just because the colors change, and that's because there's a various set of color artists here.
Right.
But because the colors change sporadically throughout the settings, the highlights on the outfits and everything seems to change. So it could be confusing. But all in all, like the actual color style itself, if you're just breaking it down as far as like pure fucking talent goes, like there's no lack in talent whatsoever. I just think that one thing that may have slightly hurt this is the fact that there's 3 color artists on it.
Fair. I don't know. It read well for me, and I don't have the brain of an artist, so I don't focus on that as much. It flowed well for my personal taste. But I know we do read comics differently.
Right, and like we don't agree on everything quite often. We have very different tastes. But like I said, this just because this isn't my flavor, I'm not denying for a second that there's a fucking shit ton, a countless amount of people that would thoroughly
I think there
enjoy
is
the
definitely an audience for this book, and it's right up my wheelhouse. It's got that sci-fi aspect to it. You know, you don't have to explain everything about this world. Just make it interesting, and then the more I read it, the more I care, the more I'll learn.
Dude, it's just so fucking old school looking. It reminds me so much of like a 70s fucking style comic.
Definitely has that style, for sure.
And my biggest praise I can give, actually goes to the artistic team in the empty space scenes where you see the space station.
Oh, it's that station with the silhouette of Venus in the background. Yeah, just the way those colors pop and everything.
Right, like that.
Very memorable.
Yes, it makes me just hope. Honestly, I could just scroll through this whole thing.
Like, that is the kind of art that I would throw that as my computer background and just a bunch of those. I have scrolling artwork on mine, and like that's it's the thing that I find visually appealing.
For sure, absolutely, for sure. Man, this really was an awesome book, and we're gonna link, and I suggest everybody read it. We're not, like I said, we don't. It sounds like we just like everything that we talk about, but
we don't really talk about stuff that if we don't have something nice to say, we just generally don't talk about it.
Exactly. So for all the people that do submit all of their stuff out there, to us, we're flattered. We really are.
Yeah, I mean, we're honored. Thank you very much for giving us a sneak peek. For letting us read something that most people haven't read yet, and we're able to talk about it, and we're able to blow your horn too.
These characters all seem very intriguing in their own way. I have just a couple of little pointers, like I mentioned, but all in all, like I will say, the fact that this is actually a webcomic that's ready for print is very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, I mean,
the fact that you could scroll through this like
feels
Marvel
very professional.
It does. There's no lack of professionalism involved whatsoever. So once again, this is Venus Rises issue number 2 by who are our guys? J.G. Birdsall, James Newell, Wilson Go, Caroline Nolasco, and Manzuya. Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean to do that to your name. But you know
we gotta scroll up a bit.
Yeah. Can't read my own handwriting. I did take notes on your comic because I enjoyed it. Oh, shit. Here we go. Mansoya. Apparently my Z's look like C's.
That's weird.
That's very weird.
Yeah, again, guys, we're flattered. Thank you for letting us talk about your comic book.
Yeah, and if all you other creators out there, if you're not afraid to
we have another one for next week too, right?
Oh yeah, we actually just expect this from now on because we've got a bunch of people that hit us.
Do we? Oh man,
we do. We got
awesome.
Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah, very cool. Like I said, guys, I'm flattered. Thank you. I mean, people are listening, and we're new.
That was like when we sat down before this. Like we wanted that to be one of our goals. We wanted to be able to promote artists, and if we could find these indie people who if we could have an outlet for them, that's so cool. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Seriously, like cheers. Yeah. Let's talk about wall books, huh?
Yeah, you got any this week?
I have 2 this week. I find that this year the wall books have been thinner and thinner, but I'm okay with that because my wall's getting pretty fucking full, and I hate having to take shit down to make space. This week though, these wall books are great. One of them I got mostly out of speculation because it's usually a low print run, but it was the Red Hood variant, the cover B, and shit. Oh, don't you ever drop my comics again. Fucking Mason, you're the new host now. Justin's fired. Sorry, I'm stalling while I look for my my art. Ah, shit, that's her name. Marie Javins. I wrote it on the fucking. Yeah. This cover, as you can see, the Red Hood cover.
Yeah, that's a cool cover. I didn't see that one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that one.
It's a low print run, so I thought, maybe the last time I had a niche on a Red Hood variant, I was like, not usually my type of style, but I have a feeling it's going to catch everyone else's style. I was right. It jumped up to like 30 books, or 30 books. It's worth 30 books now.
It was worth 30 books?
30 books of my
choice. Wow. That's like $90.
Yeah, I got beer taste. But this actually was really fucking cool. It's gonna look nicely on the wall.
Heck yeah.
But the one that really fucking caught my eye, it's just something about this character design. Everything he's in, I just have to fucking have.
Yeah, Batman Who Laughs.
Batman Who Laughs, number 3. That variant by Riccardo Federici is just fucking
that cover looks like it was made for you.
It's almost Matina-esque.
It does, but I mean, it's kind of like that.
But it's soft like Lee and Yuck at the same time. So, I don't know, it's
got that Pinhead vibe to it for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see where you can get that fucking vibe. It's a beautiful, like the turquoises and the blacks, like the only 2 colors in there are turquoise and black. Oh, and a little bit of red in the gums, because naturally.
It's got other colors, but yeah, I mean, there's very strongly. Yeah.
It's a beautiful fucking cover.
Awesome.
But those are really the only two I bought solely for the art. I did actually read both of them too. Do you have any covers that super fucking impressed you this week? What was your cover of the week?
Cover of the week? I was gonna say Whispering Dark, because even though they're so simple, I've just loved these covers. Something about them just really speaks to me. But then I saw your next gen cover.
That variant.
Man, I hadn't seen that one. That's gonna have to get cover of the week for me. I can't stop staring at that beauty.
I don't blame you. Was there a cover that you saw, Mason? By the way, Mason is still here. We just haven't fucking shut up. So.
Yeah.
Well, right now, I definitely am quite a fan of that Batman Who Laughs cover there.
It's pretty fucking sexy. I mean, Jock's original cover A is pretty dope. But...
I mean, but if you want me to be honest, the sexiest cover is that Madrigal up there.
Yeah, the one that we mentioned earlier, the blank of the Batman.
Oh, the one Levi did?
Yeah, the one that Levi did. Well, I'll post more of his stuff. I think he's seriously working on another cover right now as we speak. So.
Last time I saw he was working on his weird
Mario.
Oh, he's doing a Mario. Oh, right on. I'll give him some Spawn covers to fucking paint on. But I love hanging fucking art up on my wall, man. It's really, it's the whole reason I'm in comics is the art. It just so happens the stories are fun to follow as well.
Fair. Why ever you read comics.
Yeah. What was your favorite story this week?
Favorite story? Murder Falcon.
Yeah.
I just can't get enough of that book.
It really is.
I have to agree with Murder Falcon.
You know what? We're going to go ahead and go unanimous on this one.
Yeah?
3-way Murder Falcon,
nice. Buddy. Plus that art, I think that's going to get my interiors too.
Fucking Spicer gets your interiors? Oh, shit.
For that, giant tree monster alone, that last panel, woo!
Yeah, no, I'd agree. And as a matter of fact, I'd have to agree with my interior.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking
Murder Falcon!
You as well?
Yep.
Damn, 2 3-ways. Shit. Fucking... I think I need a cigarette after all of that,
3-way action.
All that 3-way action. That was, damn, it's cool. These creators knew how to catch an eye this week. They fucking came hard.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, though, there was a lot of good stories and a lot of great art this week, just like every week.
Oh, dude, none of it was bad. Oh, shit, you know what? We got someone that hit us up on Facebook and wanted insight on something, and we've just had so much content. Not that there's any lack of content this week either, but now that we have a third person here, I think we can make this even a little more fun.
Okay.
Brandon Crease, we've talked about him before. He's pretty active with us.
He's the first one who hit us up for a Facebook question. Hell yeah.
He's a sweet fucking local comic book commission artist. He asked us what our favorite variation on a character was. So, we've had this whole... Yeah, there's been...
Ironheart to Iron Man.
Right, 2 different Thors.
Exactly.
And this is all throughout comics and all genres and everything. And you seem like you knew exactly what your answer was.
Yeah, I had to think about it, but, the first thing that popped to mind... Agent Venom. When it comes to Venom, Agent Venom is just my favorite.
Great fucking answer, man. That's awesome.
I have to say, Fall from Grace Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what makes him different? I'm not familiar. What's the version?
I don't know anything about him.
Is he a girl Matt Murdock or what?
No, it's a different take on the Man Without Fear story, if I remember correctly, and it's actually. Daredevil's suit is biomimetic. He's got new pads in it. It's been changed to the color scheme is black, white, and red now.
Yeah, I pulled up some images.
Here, okay, yeah.
That's pretty fucking. Cool.
I like that suit so much.
It's a dope fucking Daredevil.
And
suit.
if I remember correctly, the whole time he's trying to track the Hellspawn, but he can't. For some reason, his tracking abilities don't work with the Hellspawn like they do with his normal villains.
Huh. It sounds very, very... that was a fucking left field goddamn answer. And boy, do we appreciate that shit. I'm sure a lot of the listeners, too. Because my answer is about as vanilla as it gets.
Oh, yeah?
I actually enjoy Sam Wilson's Captain America.
Yeah?
That's my
Okay.
favorite version of Captain America. I think he's been the coolest. If they had to...
There's been so many captains.
There has, but there's been a shit ton of variations of characters that I could do without, too. Like, I'm not saying that I don't like them, but if they never existed...
Fair. Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, you got a point there.
If they took away the canon that Falcon held the shield, I think I would legitimately be sad. Because I truly, truly enjoy that. His version of Captain America was very different. I got hooked on his version during the Sam Wilson Captain America run that was leading into tied heavily into the Civil War II event.
Okay.
And Steve Rogers had a Captain America going on at the same time, and I was subscribed to both, so I had something legit to compare it to.
Okay. Fair.
And Falcon's just, to me, and there was nothing wrong with the Steve Rogers run. I'm personally not a big Captain America fan, but because I was so devoted to knowing everything for Civil War
Something
II,
about Wilson's story, rang a bell with you, though.
It did, and it's a series that I would easily revisit.
If you resonate with the Captain America story, I'm happy. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, it was just heavy social issues, and usually things that I'm not like super about. I mean, obviously I'm in a comic, so I'm very aware of social issues. Comics is a great way to do that. But when they shove it down your throat, I'm not usually into it.
Right.
With
when it's too ham-fisted.
Right. With Captain America, I feel like they were trying really, really hard to get a certain point and agenda across, but at the same time, it was given to me on a velvet cushion.
They told it in a compelling way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
kudos.
Out of all of the choices, I mean, there's a shit ton of fucking choices, guys.
A lot of choices. I mean, that's a paralyzing question. That's why I had to think about it for a second. Like, whoa, where do I even start?
I mean, just to name a few of the crazy, like, how many different fucking Logans have there been? And I will say...
how many current Logans are there?
Well, I mean, I don't mean Logan, I mean Wolverine. And I will say, actually, not changing my mind, but a very, 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 very close second would be X-23 as Wolverine. If when Marvel introduces mutants into the world, everyone's like, oh, who's going to play Logan? I think it should be, who's going to play Laura? I heard it on another podcast today, Ramblin' Rob, listen to his podcast, and he had a really cool point that I fully fucking am on board with. Everyone's talking about who they're going to cast as Logan. I think we should be, if they have the chance to revamp, I think Laura Kinney has been the best Wolverine. And I credit that to Todd Taylor.
I have no problem with that. I mean, we've seen so many variations of Logan. I don't mind passing the torch for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a chance for Marvel to tell a different X-Men story. And I don't want another origin. Give me Laura. Yeah, give me a different take on the X-Men.
Right.
Give me a good, compelling story. We already know who the mutants are. We don't need another origin story. Yeah.
Throw a curveball. We're cool with curveballs. We
Yeah.
are. You're gonna get your backlash, but it doesn't matter. You can throw a fucking fastball, and there's still gonna be fucking people. You'd lob one to us, and there's still gonna be people complaining because it was too easy or whatever. So I think I don't know. My point is going back to the variations of comic book creators. Just the fact that like Laura Kinney is my second proves that there's a fucking shit ton out there, and there's some amazing ones.
Definitely. There's so many.
These publishers have gotten shit, specifically Marvel, because they were the ones that did it the hardest, I think.
They did venture out, but I mean, Marvel's always done that. They've always been willing to, hey, what's the new take we can do? Because every generation is different.
But most of them have survived, and we got the Champions team. It's pretty much made out of all those variations of characters, like Miles Morales and Kamala Khan with Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Ironheart. I think even Falcon might have been a part for a bit of the Champions. Not in the run now, but fucking young Scott Summers. That's a variation of a character.
Yeah.
So I really feel like Champions is really now just a collection of all these variations. The only thing they're really missing...
Young Cable.
Not the only... Yeah. They're missing
Cable
a few.
has so many different storylines as the different...
Well, right now, Young Cable is fucking...
Where in time?
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Well, I mean, like, my favorite out of the X-Men series is the Onslaught saga.
Right.
And that's... I mean, adult Cable has to go save young Cable and young Bishop.
Right. And right now, young Cable is trying to convince resurrected Scott Summers or he's trying to be proven...
resurrected
Yeah.
Summers, yeah.
Oh,
he really is Cable, and he had to kill older Cable because he was doing things wrong. yeah. I mean, just good out there story.
And once again, it's another character that's been varied on.
Oh, very.
To prove that just because they change something about a character doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
Yeah, the character might go away for a while, but
a lot
come
of fans
on,
hate
man,
change,
he's
though.
gotta fucking come back. Like Logan's gone for years and he's back now.
Yeah.
So or Wolverine. So yeah, I thought that was a great question, Brandon. I really do. It made me think for a long time, and I came up with the most, like I said, the most vanilla answer possible.
I don't think so.
But at the same time, it's the one that really struck me.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a bad answer to that. I mean...
Well, because it's all based on personal preference.
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah, comics aren't for everyone. We've proven that in this podcast. Like
they are for everyone. Yep.
But not every issue. Like it's okay to dislike something.
But there's so many comics out there that if you don't think you'll like a comic book, maybe do a little bit of searching. I bet there's something you would like.
It's what I was telling you earlier. It's that in media, very few things are objectively bad, but opinionatedly things can,
yeah, that's true with everything.
People have different opinions on things, but very few things are actually like, technically this is just absolute terrible writing, terrible drawing, terrible coloring.
Oh, Last Jedi.
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember the last time where a comic book just utterly failed.
Right.
I really don't. Well, I take that back. I do, but I won't mention it. It was a long time ago, and the series isn't going anymore, so that says a lot. But other than it's been a long fucking time
now.
It's been a long time, so yeah. If you really want to know what I'm thinking about, then you got a lot of fucking digging to do. But the fact I've read, since we started this podcast, we read what?
A mountain of books.
Hundreds.
Dear God.
At this point, hundreds.
I've seen your stacks.
Between the two of us, yeah, probably.
And there's a lot of good shit, guys, and
a lot of good shit. We're not even talking about everything we read.
A lot of this good shit involves these variated characters that people talk so much shit on.
Yeah. Brandon, thank you for the great question. Sorry it took us so long to finally get this.
We hope you're still a listener at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shit. Honestly, I really think we could have an entire podcast based off of this.
Oh, you can have an entire podcast based off of variant characters easily.
Easily. But our listeners' time's very, very valuable. So let's tell them what we're excited about, give them an idea of what they have to possibly be purchasing next week. Hopefully all of them, because, money means nothing. So fucking spend your money on comic books.
Exactly.
Shit, let's start with Dark Horse. We got a Terminator story continuing. It's a small, what do they call it? A mini-series would be the word. I've used that word like 1,000 times now. I forgot it for a second.
It happens. Words are hard.
Words hard, bad.
Mental flatulence.
Yeah. I've actually heard good things about the Terminator mini-series. Done by Brian Wood and Jeff Stokely. Produced by Dark Horse. I think that's the only Dark Horse thing I see this week. Moving along to DC, though.
Aquaman, number 45, Kelly Sue DeConnick and Robinson Roca and Daniel Henriquez.
Yeah, I resubscribed to Aquaman, and my LCS, for whatever reason, forgot it the last issue, so now I'm going to have to wait for the next arc to start again, because I don't have time to back read. So I will eventually be reading.
We're doing some back reading, just other stuff.
Right. Batman's going on still. We got part 3, and also a Heroes in Crisis tie-in.
Heck
we
yeah.
got Joshua Williamson and Gilliam March is doing that one. Catwoman's been dope. Joelle Jones, and she's not doing the art anymore. She has some help. Elena Casagrande is doing that, and it's still awesome art. Justice League number 18, James Tynion IV and Pascal Ferry. I've been excited about Justice League since we've reintroduced Brainiac and Lex Luthor. We had that last issue with Lex Luthor and Martian Manhunter, like that little single thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what we're gonna get now, but I feel like Justice League's finally starting to pick up momentum again, make it interesting. A lot of it, I just feel like we had a whole bunch of issues, just info dump, the way Snyder does. It's just a whole bunch of shit, and eventually, hopefully you remember this and it happens.
Yeah.
So,
I look forward to hearing about it.
For sure. Naomi, number 2, Brian Michael Bendis and David F. Walker, along with Jamal Campbell. This is the first first series that was launched by Wonder Comics, which is the younger generation, whatever, like same line that Wonder
Young
Twins
adult
belongs-
comics.
Yeah, young adults. There we go. I've heard great things about Naomi though, and David F. Walker seems to do no wrong by me. So, yeah. Finally, we get some fucking Nightwing.
It's been a while,
I was
hasn't it?
thinking they canceled it for a minute, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
It's been a little while.
It's been a while, especially how they, like. It's not like they like ended an arc and took a few weeks. I feel like it's been like 4 weeks since we got Nightwing.
Yeah.
And
Issue number 57, Scott Lobdell, Travis Moore.
yeah, man. I want to know how this new team. Maybe that's what it was. They're just like let that new team sink in.
Yeah,
like,
I think we got the end of the Rick run, maybe.
No. I think the Rick run's just getting started, baby.
Yeah.
I do, and
I have to just go back out here. There's a cool little Easter egg this week in Winter Soldier. They were talking about RJ. He's like, well, maybe you don't have to be RJ. Maybe you can be a different name. You can be Robert, Ryan. How about Rick? We can even drop the K and make it hip.
that's God. I love fucking
Yeah,
homages like
I
that.
love those little nods.
I do. Fucking A, Scooby-Doo, where are you? Number 97. We were talking about this earlier. I knew it's more Scooby-Doo. I've heard no words of DC dropping this book. I don't know why they would. When they're, well, maybe they'll wait till 100 and drop it. Who knows? But I know no news. Done by, what is that, Shawley Fish and Walter Carzon?
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. Fucking Scooby-Doo. Here you go. Teen Titans, number 27. Adam Glass and Bernard Chang. I think I am actually going to subscribe to Teen Titans since you're reading Titans.
Yeah.
Cool. When I read the annual, I was like, this might actually be pretty cool. And I did actually go through and get the DC Universe subscription service and binge Titans all in a day.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Because I'm just tired of not knowing what Titans are.
Right.
I don't know anything about them. And granted, that's obviously not canon with any type of comic book stories. But the show was intriguing enough for me to want to learn some of the insight about Titans. I know you're reading Titans. I'm gonna read the teen ones. American Carnage number 4, Brian Hill and Leonardo Fernandez. This book has been highly, highly acclaimed, almost seeming like an indie creative owned thing, but being published by DC. I missed it, but I hear great things. This book right here, I am extremely excited about, and it also screams a Justin book. High Level number 1 by Rob Sheridan, Barnaby Bagadina, and Romulo Ferrato. Just to give you an idea what the hell's going on here.
Let's read the description.
Hundreds of years after the world ended and human society was rebuilt from scratch, a self-interested smuggler is forced to traverse a new continent of danger and mystery to deliver a child messiah to High Level, a mythical city at the top of a world which no one has ever returned. That was not the solicitation that I read, to be honest.
No?
I don't remember where I read my solicitation. It seemed to have given a lot more insight. Hype me up a lot more than that, I'm not going to lie.
But you're thinking this is something I need to check out?
It definitely is.
Cool.
And the variant cover, I can already...
I mean, you know what I like, so if you recommend it to me, cool.
And that variant cover?
Oh, I like that.
Who do you think did that variant cover?
Arjun?
No, that'd be a Matina cover, buddy.
Is it a Matina?
That's fucking dope,
Wow.
right?
I like it.
That's fucking dope. Lucifer.
Number 5?
Number 5. There we go. I just want to soak it in for a second. Dan Waters, Max Fiumara, and Sebastian Fiumara. Don't know what we'll be talking about because it's super fucking crazy and convoluted, but at the same
like
time,
dreams, yeah.
highly fucking enjoyable. It's a Sandman story, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got for DC.
Anything for Dynamite you want to talk about?
Dynamite. We got a number 1 Crackdown. Jonathan David
Oh,
Goff.
based off of the video game?
I'm not sure. What does it say? Computer decided to stop working. Oh, there we go. Xbox. That was
Yeah,
enough said.
it's based off the video game. Okay, cool.
Cool, man. So
I think they're finally going to release the 3rd game.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Dynamite's also pushing out number 4 of James Bond, 007, Greg Pak and Stephen Mooney. I really enjoy Greg Pak's style of writing. Bummed that I missed the first 3 issues of James Bond. Maybe if it's a lighter week, I'll hop on this. But I like a James Bond story. I don't like the movies, but every James Bond comic I've ever read was pretty fucking dope.
Great.
More Dynamite, actually. I normally wouldn't be excited about this, but one of my buddies hyped this up, so I feel like I like his taste in comics. Mars Attacks number 5. Kyle Starks and Chris Schweizer. I hear it's just a fun fucking Mars Attacks story.
Yeah, cool.
Once again, that's
Right on.
more Dynamite. Ah, Turok! I'm not going to forget Turok. Turok's rebooted. We're at number 2 already. Ron Mars and Roberto Castro. Sounds like Dynamite's coming fucking heavy this week, guys.
Yeah, picking up some different IPs.
Fuck, dude. GoBots. Can't forget about GoBots coming from IDW. Tom Scioli and Tom Scioli. He's your guy. And then there's this is your classic nostalgia book. Urban Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Urban Legend number 10 is carrying on. Gary Carlson and Frank Fosco. So I'll be adding it to the pile. Eventually I'll be binging that motherfucker.
Bitter Root number 4.
God damn right, about fucking time. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that I had the opportunity to read early, and you motherfuckers will not be disappointed. Very, very good. Don't save your money. Spend your money. This is a book that's totally worth buying. David Walker, Chuck Brown, and Sanford Green. They don't disappoint.
Nice. Also, I want to mention East of West. We got number 41. They're finally starting to pump them out again. Jonathan Hickman and Nick Dragotta.
I know, I gotta catch up on it, man. You keep
Yeah,
hyping it up.
God,
I heard great
it's so
things.
good.
It really is. Speaking of so good, Middle West number 4, Scotty Young and Jorge Corona.
Fuck yeah.
Another one that I did actually get to read early, and once again, don't skip it.
Just as good?
Don't fall
Great.
off. Fucking
Awesome.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say my most anticipated book of the week is an Image title. It belongs to the Millerverse. So we get a new 6-issue miniseries from Mark Miller and Simone Bianchi, Sharky the Bounty Hunter number 1. If the title isn't enough to make you want to jump on, let me just tell you a little bit what this is about, and I'm going to do it in like 12 words. Mustache, bounty hunter, 10-year-old sidekick, rocket-powered ice cream truck, space.
You got me at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good shit, right? And it's Mark Miller, so
Nice.
probably not going to miss. Marvel, this week, the Age of X-Men miniseries, we're getting the Nightcrawler, so we're going to figure out what is so special about Nightcrawler and his fame. Sean McGuire and Juan Figueredo?
I'm always down for a good Nightcrawler story.
Who doesn't love a Nightcrawler story? Avengers No Road Home number 2, Al Ewing and the same writing team and Paco Medina. This is weekly, so get used to saying that name. Shit, we're getting Avengers number 15 already?
Heck yeah.
Jason Aaron and David Marquez. The War of the Vampires continues, bitches. Blades and Avenger. Get used to it. Black Widow number 2. Fuck, I feel like it's been a while since that one came out. Jen Soska, Sylvia Soska, and Flaviano.
Sweet. We got a Dazzler number 1.
Oh, yeah.
John
Fasimil edition, whatever that means.
Tom DeFalco and John
Romita Jr.
Romita Jr.
Fucking legend artist. Doctor Strange is, I hate to word it like this, is finally getting really fucking good. I'm finally excited for Doctor Strange. I was borderline gonna drop it. Number 11, Mark Waid and Jesus Saez. It's just a cool fucking arc right now. So, read the last issue, jump on this one. It's fun. Fun Doctor Strange.
Maybe I will.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Number 3, Tom Taylor and Juan Cabal. Didn't think that I would be so attached to this book, and now I just can't fucking get enough. And probably my second favorite Spidey title. So, yeah.
Nice.
Good shit. This one, I think we're both highly excited about. Guardians of the Galaxy. We're already getting number 2.
Definitely more Cosmic Ghost
Donny
Rider!
Cates and Jeff Shaw.
Oh, yes.
This team's fucking dope. Fucking dope. Hulk Marines. We're getting that 3-issue miniseries where Immortal Hulk and Wolverine are hunting down old Clay or Weapon H. So
right.
I'm curious to see where
Weapon H is coming to an end, right?
it came to an end. Yeah, issue 12 was the last one. He got out of Weird World and all that. And
Right.
so now that Logan's back and Immortal Hulk is doper than ever, they're off to apparently hunt down Clay. So he might have done something bad. I don't know. I'm excited for this. It's only 3 issues, so it's not a huge commitment. Oh shit, Miles Morales, more Spider-Man. Number 3. Saladin Ahmed and Javier Garron. I'm loving Miles.
Yeah, it's my favorite Spider-Man.
Fucking Old Man Quill number 2 already. Ethan Sachs and Robert Gill. So I actually asked Ethan Sachs, I said, is this going to be a bi-weekly book? Because Old Man Hawkeye was monthly. And he said, no, because I like my artists and I don't want to kill them. And I respect that because I like his artists a lot too, and I want to see them keep working because this book is fucking amazing. So it's it's bi-weekly, the first 2 issues, and then we're gonna get it monthly after this.
Okay.
So
cool.
I think he just really wants to instill the origin of this team, get it in our head.
Get the hype going.
Exactly, and I don't blame him. I think it's great marketing. Another little mini event.
Return of Wolverine, number 5. Yeah. Charles Soule and Steve McNiven.
Yeah. This is another Logan book, Wolverine book, however you want to verbalize it, just gets better and better as the series goes on.
And this Adam Kubert cover, gorgeous.
Oh, dude. Yes, it is. It's actually I think it's sold out in some places.
Oh, wow.
Shuri, number 5. And then Dende, oh, God. Okofara. Yeah, you understood that. And Leonardo Romero.
We're so bad at names.
Yeah. Especially after a few beers when it all starts slurring together.
It's been a good book so far.
Yeah, you have been reading it.
I have.
Uncanny X-Men, number 12, Matthew Rosenberg, Salvador Larroca. They cannot tell me this story fast enough. I'm so fucking happy.
Should I hit him up, tell him to go weekly again?
They won't. They won't. I already asked. Venom, number 11. Donnie Cates, Ryan Stegman, and Joshua Quesada. This book is so much better than that song. It's so much fucking better. Venom.
I hate Eminem.
Fuck, we are flooded with Wolverine this week. Infinity Watch number 1.
Holy
Jerry
cow.
Duggan and Andy McDonald. Apparently, Wolverine's going to be holding an Infinity Gauntlet. This has been teased a while ago.
Week that was Wolverine.
It is the week what whiz Wolverine. You like that alliteration? It's so well thought out. Alright, that's all I have from Marvel, really. There's great trades coming out, though. Great trades.
West Coast Avengers.
Yeah, that's a fucking awesome book. What do we have? I think that's all we have. Son of a bitch. I think we can end this podcast, gentlemen. Unless Mason has something else to say.
Well, you told me at the very beginning that I would get to talk about Alita.
You are right.
Nope, come back next week. That's all, folks.
You'll have a great day.
You're right.
No,
Well,
so what do you want to talk about Alita for?
I haven't seen the movie yet, but the movie definitely brought back some nostalgia. It was something that when I was a kid, I had kind of read into the comics a little bit, but I had never really gotten into it. And it was a few years ago that I decided to actually reinvest a little bit of time in it, and now it's coming out, and it's like, oh crap, I've got to go really study up on this.
So I don't know anything about Alita.
Okay,
Why don't you describe it?
It's very interesting. It's very much a product of the 90s. I remember, I think the original run went between 90 and 95. And there were only 9 volumes, and it's just cyberpunk. It's where we live in this post-apocalypse. I don't remember if they really address what the apocalypse was, but we kind of live in this post-apocalyptic society where there are 3 different levels to the world. There's the scrapyard, which takes place, I'm pretty sure, in Colorado.
Oh.
Which is weird for, a Japanese manga to be centered in the U.S., but it is.
I guess we are the coolest place on Earth.
Well, they're always ahead of the game out there. They knew a long time ago that Colorado was the best.
Yeah,
true.
but they have,
Yeah.
so the scrapyard, and then above the scrapyard is Typharis, or as it's known in the 2-episode anime from 1993, Zalem, and then you have Mars. And those are basically like the stages of classism in Alita. You have those
Gotcha.
those 3 different levels of, you start at the scrapyard, you can get to Typharis, and you can get to Mars. The whole point at this point, though, is with this post-apocalypse cyberpunk, we're at the point where you can do just about anything to the human body. You can replace any part except for the spine. You cannot replace the human spine. And there are people out there who will go around and say, oh, I'll give you an oil job, for your neck or whatever, and then take them into a back alleyway and hack out their spine and go sell it on the black market.
I like it.
And so Alita, the story that you get into is you have Ito, who is more or less her creator-father figure, but really he found her in a junkyard. He found her chest and head in suspended animation in a junkyard, took her home, and built her a body. That's the whole thing, was he built her a body. and she
So
has
her it's not an organic brain. She has an AI brain.
no. She has an organic brain. She is. Okay. She is a. I'm pretty sure, according to the story, her head's still real. She's still a real person, but like from here, from like her shoulders, down? Yeah, sternum down, because like it's like sternum to shoulders is what she has left.
Okay.
And then down is all.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I can picture.
Is all cybernetics.
I honestly,
and
I don't.
Ito, her father figure, is like the best cybernetics doctor in all of Scrapyard.
So he's like the oh shit, what's his title in fucking Doom Patrol? I forget his title, but he's a pretty fucking badass doctor. He needs to get. I don't know. I don't know. I just watched Doom Patrol.
Okay, but yeah, that's his. Ito is pretty much the most badass doctor, and he actually supposedly came from Typharis/Zalem, and
he was knocked down a peg.
Yeah, he was kind of knocked down a peg, and there was another doctor who did the same. But the movie has got me kind of excited simply because they show some of the things that in the 2-episode run of the anime from 1993 you didn't get. Now, given that 2-episode run only covers the first 2 volumes of 9 out of the series of comics, but you never get what they're showing is going to happen in the movie. You've seen it, like I've already seen it in the trailers. They get to show the motorball gladiatorial sport, which I'm pretty sure we've seen.
I don't know what any of those words are. I don't think any of them are real words, but I love all of those words combined.
Well, great buzzwords.
It's like
motor gladiatorial sportorius.
Sunday.
I can't remember what movie to compare to that would have probably had something very similar to it.
Back to the Future.
Thunderdome.
Well, it's more. It's I want to say the new Tron is very close to it. The new Tron with their motorsport, because the whole point is you're riding, motorbikes and shit, and you're trying to, throw a ball in a ring across the arena, but at the same time you're trying to kill
I was going to say virtual Quidditch.
But you're also trying to kill your opponent, like literally murder them.
So it's the Hunger Game Quidditch.
Yeah, kind of.
I like it.
And
is this in the movie?
Yeah, supposedly this is in the movie. That's in the trailers. They show a scene from
the trailer.
Oh, in the trailer they definitely showed a scene from Motorball, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, hype, pump!" And so I'm kind of excited for this, especially like if you go and you watch the original 1993 anime, which it's really simple. I mean, you're gonna spend maybe 50 minutes watching it, and then it's over. And they cover so much material from the first 2 volumes in that 50 minutes, that you'll want to go watch the movie. You'll definitely want to go watch it.
Well, I think you sold me just in the weird word that you mentioned.
Well, and I think it was just, it was great for me. It was like, it's one thing, it's like, oh, they're making a Ghost in the Shell live action with Scarlett Johansson. And then it's like, oh, they're making... Most people don't know about Alita. Are you sure you want to present that to major American audiences?
Well,
yeah, okay.
And I think and I really think the point of why you wanted to mention this, and I got to reiterate that in case anybody misses, is the fact that we have a non-Western style comic book being depicted successfully on the silver screen to an American audience.
Exactly.
And I think that's the first time that's ever happened. Because the only thing I know about this movie is that before it came out, everybody predicted utter doom and
garbage,
loss.
Like absolute garbage.
But I have not heard a single bad thing about this movie.
No,
and the fact that I belong to a lot of
positive
movie groups that are just full of fucking toxic fans, the fact that none of those disgustingly toxic fans have talked shit about this movie, with this movie being in the realm of probably going to be talked shit about.
Yeah, I mean, it's opened up for criticism for sure.
We should probably go see this movie this week sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down.
Yeah, you got me convinced. I didn't really have any interest until you talked about it, to be honest. I think it's exciting if anything, you might have even sparked my interest on wanting to read, possibly, I'm not going to say for sure.
Your first manga?
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe. If the movie's as good as you described the storyline, then I might...
I don't want to ruin any major plot twist with the storyline. I will just say this, that Zalem/Typharis in the original is not what everybody thinks it is.
Okay. Right on. That means nothing to me, but I'm sure it will eventually. And it probably means a buttload to all of the listeners, because they're way more ahead of the game than us. We're too busy to fucking... We got a lot of books to read. You guys, there's, you know, they listen to the podcast in the movie theater, so they can knock out 2
Yeah, exactly. Well, any closing comments?
I like comic books. You should like.
Comics good. Good night.
Be like comics, be like beer.
Pretty much. No, nothing out of the ordinary. Make sure you subscribe to all of our social media shit. Reminder, we are on Instagram. Instagram. That's a new thing I just invented. Instagram is actually, I mispronounced it. It's Impstagram with a P.
And the Yuz Tubs.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Yuz Tubs, Flocksbook.
Yep. The tweets.
Tweeters. All of them. You know 'em.
Damn twits out there.
Yeah. All of them.
Be kind to each other, everybody. Read some good comics. Hey, check out some indies.
Yes, and one more time, shout out to fucking Venus Rising, all you indie creators out there. If you're listening, word gets out. We eventually want to review your stuff. We want to review your stuff.
We have a couple more still lined up, right?
A few.
Awesome.
A few.
Cool.
So, yeah, maybe. Read responsibly, fuckers. Cheers.
Yeah, keep responsibly. Cheers.
Yes.